It's time for weekend football time. We can talk about them 49ers. How you doing, fam? Doing all right? Yeah. Days go down. The more days go down, the faster they go down. We can get back into the season and get some redemption. But the draft is coming up, isn't it? Free agency first, of course, but we can figure nothing more going on in free agency than most of our guys that we want to keep getting signed. We got more free agents than anybody. I mean, we got to get them done. And can't have a lot of fun if we ain't got no. I got to figure out a rhyme on that one. Niners GM John Lynch, though, and Coach Shanahan have repeatedly said Jimmy G is their 2021 quarterback. The media and fans alike refuse to take them seriously. They've got to be kidding, right? As the NFL moves disgruntled and unsatisfied quarterbacks to new locations at a record hot pace here in the last few days, it remains quiet in Santa Clara. Could the Niners be contemplating trading up for a first-round pick of one of the premier college candidates entering the 2021 draft? Maybe. Should they even be considering such a move? We'll be taking your calls tonight. For your take on a draft move to the top of the order for a quarterback, along with the latest in 49ers offseason activities. Also, impacting news. Yesterday, the NFL and NFL Players Association announced a floor of $180 million, a $5 million increase per team over the initial agreement before last season. Thank you, NFL. It is much appreciated. Now, two of the Niners' four scheduled highest cap costs belong to players who were not healthy last season and may not be ready to go this year either. D Ford comes to mind. D has a salary cap figure of more than $20.8 million. Weston Richburg is on the books for $11.46 million. Richburg, however, has no injury protection written into his contract. The Niners could save nearly $4.5 million if they were to release him 3 years into the original 5-year, $47.5 million contract he signed as a free agent in 2018. D, on the other hand, is another story. D suited up for week 1 of last season, played 46 snaps in a loss to the Cards with a hamstring that it just refuses to heal. He left the rest of the season. My back, my neck, my leg, my neck, and my back. Sit down, D. The Niners acquired D in 2019 and signed him to a 5-year contract that averaged $17 million per season. D battled injuries in 2019, appearing in 11 regular season games. That's a lot of money. D, we needed you on the edge. I know. Ronbo, you don't say nothing about Jimmy. Shut up. Anyway, he still managed 6.5 sacks. He added another sack in the postseason. Oh, hell yeah. Make no mistake, D Ford can play his butt off. But these injuries are not healing up. This is the thing that scares me. Where no matter what else we got, who else on the lineup, D is very special in this regard. He won't heal up. He just can't do it. And from where I said, D has got to be considering retirement. It just only makes sense. If you're never going to heal up, why are you going to come back out there to risk serious? D could end up being seriously injured, into the wheelchair, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't play his position and play like. You cannot be coming off no edges, man. He is scheduled to make $15.5 million in the base salary for the 2021 season. D would certainly be a salary cap casualty this offseason, but his contract complicates the matter for the Niners. John Lynch said last month there are no assurances. Now, see, this is what freaked me out. There are no assurances Ford would be ready to start the 2021 season. Whoa, he's been out the entire 2020, and you're telling me he's still not ready to play? See, that's even Nick's going to be back before then. He tore his ACL. So what's Nick got? The scary news is that this D has an injury guarantee written into, everybody knows about that, written into his contract. If he remains on the Niners roster on April 1st, $11.6 million of his base salary becomes a fully guaranteed thing. So stay tuned on this one. You can't do that. You can't live with him. You can't live without him. And hey, how about trading another quarterback to the San Francisco Stew? Anybody out there in the NFL carries a business card saying quarterback, if he's not going back to his team, he's coming to San Francisco. There is no indication the Niners are actively looking for a new starting quarterback. The club will almost certainly shake up its backup situation for the 2021 season. That can be pretty much assured. Enter the New York Jets with our old friend Bobby Saleh, who just took over in New York. As you know, the Jets are expected to make Sam Darnold available for the best offer. I'll give you a package of chewing gum and some Gale Sayers trading cards. To some, that would appear to make sense for the Niners, at least until considering all other ramifications. C.J. Beathard is scheduled for unrestricted free agency. Nicky Mullins is scheduled to be a restricted free agent. They gave Nicky that last year as he was running around on the sidelines with his lips all stuck out, feeling frustrated that he couldn't play. The Niners could bring back one of those players to compete for the backup job, however. Currently, the Niners have 3 quarterbacks under contract for next season. But there's a backup already on the roster. That remains to be the question. Is there a backup that you want to see come back in? Which leads me to the Niners' matter of the day, which is this. There's a consensus group of top 4 quarterbacks in the upcoming draft. All right? Trevor Lawrence of Clemson, Zach Wilson of BYU, Justin Fields of Ohio State, and Trey Lance of North Dakota. The 49ers currently pick at 12th in the upcoming draft, and they are now, with the Wentz trade, 8 teams ahead of them that could or will draft a QB. Jaguars, Jets, Dolphins, Falcons, Eagles, Lions, Panthers, and Broncos. The Dolphins is the biggest shot. You get a draft a quarterback in the first round 2 years in a row. Who did that? Did Cleveland do that recently? Now, the question, should they do that? Should it be expected? In Kyle Shanahan's career as an OC and head coach, he has never, and I mean ever, expressed a desire to have a rookie quarterback operate his offense. It's too complicated. A lot of people won't refuse to take that. If Jimmy can learn it, anybody can learn it. No, that's just pure fallacy, myth, joke, and everything else. Robert Griffin III was forced upon him in Washington, and he made due to the tune of an Offensive Rookie of the Year award for Mrs. Griffin's baby boy. Understand this, though. They rewrote that. The Shanahans had to rewrote their whole system for Robert Griffin III. Cal is not in the mood to do that anymore. That's the problem. But the Niners are in a much different position than Washington was when it drafted RG3. The Niners are in an open Super Bowl window, and they need a quarterback who can operate the offense at a high level, either because he has been in it for years, like Jimmy, or because he is a proven superstar in the league, Deshaun Watson. Now, whether you want to acknowledge the fact or not, drafting quarterback in the first round is an absolute crap-shooting risk. That's all there is to it. It's the truth. Trading up to draft a quarterback in the first round has an even worse track record. It's documented. Since 2016, teams have traded up in the first round or back into the first round for the following quarterbacks. And listen to these names: Jared Goff, Carson Wentz. Neither one of them are the team that drafted him. And neither one of them did really much during the time they were with those teams. Paxton Lynch, Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen potentially, Lamar Jackson. Jackson is a very scary story. Is he going to be a quarterback or a running back? Because he's not going to get past any further than he has been by doing what he's doing now. So he's like in Jordan Love, 2 superstars, Mahomes and Watson, and emerging superstar Allen, an MVP who may or may not continue his elite level play, Jackson, because that's 3 years in a row that Lamar got in and got out real quick, right? So you just got to call it what it is. I mean, it's just what it is. And a whole lot of average, below average, or downright atrocious looking. See Paxton Lynch. A hit rate of 36% is not particularly encouraging when you are talking about the future of your franchise and your own job security. There's a lot of talent in that group. However, many spoke glowingly of the talent in the above group of quarterbacks as well, though. You know, this everybody goes crazy. You see guys in college, wow, that's gonna be my dude. No, he may or may not be. The NFL is a different beast. Does his skill translate to the NFL? Biggest percentage of them don't. You can actually strike upon that good one. There are a few Mahomeses, maybe. But, you know, and only four, as I said, only four of them are proven to be elite level plus thus far in their careers. The Niners are in a win-now mode and have the talent on offense to compete for another Lombardi, even with Jimmy G under center. That's just in plain fact. He's already been there, done that. The team is only 12 months removed from an appearance in Super Bowl 55, led by historically dominant defense. And you know what? If Jimmy didn't have that defense, damn it, Jimmy didn't have that defense. If any team didn't have a defense, they'd get their ass handed to them. You think Brady would have won that game if Patrick Mahomes and his boys would have had their way? Think again. That defense came to do a job. Did not let him score a touchdown. That is what won the Super Bowl. Tom was going to get a few points no matter what. But Mahomes would have went buck wild had he not been contained. And you know this. We've seen it happen to us in the fourth quarter when our defense said, forget this, man. We can't do nothing better than that. There's only a couple minutes to go, guys. Just hold it a little longer. No, we couldn't do it. The FO needs to head into the 2021 draft focused on filling the holes in the D in order to reposition themselves as Super Bowl contenders, as Willis did point out today. He said, y'all need to let Jimmy alone, work that defense, get that thing solid, and go get it. So again, I ask, should the Niners trade up to draft a QB? Hashtag bring Frankie home. I love this program. Ed Nesbitt says we have to pay D Ford $11 million on March 1st, no matter what. He has a medical clause. That's what I just talked about. I agree. Wade Roberts, I feel Kyle Trask or Mac Jones is who Kyle might draft a quarterback. Trask, I think Mac Jones is probably going to be a first-round pick. But you could get him as late as 12. But will the 49ers spend that 12 on Mac Jones? Or if they want Mac, will they trade back up in the first round to get him if he's still available? Big Dad says if we draft Trask or Jones, it will prove that Shanahan has way too much trust in his system than the quality of his quarterback. And Big Dad, you hit upon something I've been telling people like this for a while. You guys have to understand, Kyle really does it. At some point, we're probably getting upset about it. Kyle believes in Kyle. He will pick out the quarterback that is an extension of him. If you're an independent soul that can go out there and do a job on your own, he ain't interested. He wants you to do like you're told, execute, get it done. That's why Matty Ice hates him to this day. 4-9 for life, Red. Go. Hey, what up, Ronbo? Just turned from them cats with the draft 1-0, and they got us taking a whole lot of unknown players. But they do that every year, though. Some of the best players we got, nobody knew anything about. Look at Fred Warner, for example. I don't know about the quarterback situation, though. Ryan Bowe says, what up? I can't believe we signed that deal in Ford. What were they thinking? We didn't get OBJ, who we were trying to get in the first place, right? That's what caused it. That's why D's here. I don't know what we would have done otherwise, but one thing leads to another. Dun, dun, dun. Alex, get in here, Alex.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's poppin'?
Alex, you got D Ford has got his handcuffed. You got, I figure with Bobby Sal over in New York, we could actually see Sam Darnold. That way, if you have Sam Darnold and you've got Josh Rosen, why do you need to bother with CJ and Nick? Although they know the play, they know what to do. I think one of them is going to stay. If anything, if they do get Darnold, I guess Rosen's going to say goodbye. CJ, I would bet it, Alex. CJ or Nick, one of them is going to stay with San Francisco. But are you trading up for a quarterback in the first round?
I mean, It depends on. I think the only quarterback that I would trade up for would be. Okay, here's just my opinion. If Zach Wilson slides to like 7 or 8, like 7, I would try to trade up with like Philly maybe.
Ooh.
But it's good.
Yeah, Philly's already got.
But he's not, I don't think that Zach Wilson is getting past 2. I don't think he's getting past 2. I think Fields could slip. And if Fields slips, I think I would consider trading up for the guy. But even then I would be like on the fence
hesitant
about it. Because I mean, listen, I've been kind of seeing like what we can get here at 12. And I've been recently watching this dude, Patrick Surtain, out of Alabama. Ronbo, that boy can play some ball.
I know.
He can lock up. He can lock up half the field just like Richard Sherman did. And he's
got good size.
He can tackle Ronbo. So I just imagine Bosa, Warner, Surtain, Barrett, Ward. Man, that defense. We would need like another edge presence for sure. And I don't know where you'd find that. But damn, that defense would be pretty fire, Ronbo.
Mm-hmm. And that might be. We don't have any cornerbacks signed up yet. You need an inexpensive one that can play some ball. So yeah, I like that.
But I do worry about the Cowboys taking him at 10. I don't think that the Cowboys, they really need secondary help too. And
listen,
they took Diggs last year.
Alex, let me make a prediction right now. Watch Jerry Jones trade up for a quarterback.
Maybe
I believe
if they
Jerry's
don't pay
losing his
Dak.
mind.
I think they'll pay Dak. I think they'll go back to. Yeah, I think.
But they're gonna put some pressure on him.
And
Andy Dalton did a good job last year. I got to tell you, Alex, that Dallas situation is fun to watch.
I know, right? It's nice to watch them burn a little bit. But okay, I gotta be honest, Ronbo, because look, I do a little research here and there. I'm not saying I know everything, but I look back on like all the drafts on all like the past few drafts of like all the names that were taken, and Ronbo, like 99% of these guys aren't even in the league anymore. It's like a few hits here and there if you get lucky. Man, I think I'm back to going all in on trading for Watson, Ronbo. I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I don't think that trading up.
Yeah, that makes sense unless you want to put your team in a serious situation. You bring the wrong guy in here, and guys are going to yell, if Santa don't get to the playoffs this year, he's on the hot seat. Let me tell you one thing. You get the wrong guy in here, and it won't be no hot seat. Kyle, you got to go. That was a bad move.
But I think that, listen, every single player that you take has a risk to them. No human is perfect. Jimmy Garoppolo has risk to him with his health and with this. That's probably the biggest concern with Jimmy Garoppolo, and maybe his deep ball here and there. With these rookie quarterbacks, there's obviously so many risks with inexperience or like the school that you went to or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
Every single player, every single person, they have a risk to them. I think Watson has the least amount of risk with him because he's a known commodity. We've seen him lead the league in passing in the worst franchise, and he stayed healthy for the vast majority of his career, and I think he just wants to win. And I think you pair him with Kyle Shanahan, and we would it'd be a known thing that we'd be a Super Bowl contender for the next 10 years because he's so young. He's in his prime. This is like a unicorn, Ronbo. They don't come around ever. This is a unicorn. And I think you'd have to give up a lot for him. And I don't know if I'd give up Bosa. I don't know if I'd give up I'd consider it because you have to be honest about Bosa and these guys too. Like Kittle's hurt a lot. Bosa's towards ACL and he's had a few, you got to be honest. Some of our players, they got injury concerns, and quarterback is the most important position in the game, Ronbo. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And to have somebody that for sure is young and is elite, and will probably be top 5
remember, Alex,
here. And in NFC where quarterbacks are getting older, it just kind of makes sense to me. And you save money. You can trade Jimmy, save money. I'm okay with Jimmy going forward if that's who we roll with. but we got to get him an O-line, Ronbo. We got to get him an O-line if Jimmy's our quarterback.
And that goes for any quarterback. You've got to protect your quarterback, or they're susceptible to injury. And if you bring, you can bring Watson in, but you better get him some protection as well. You can't have your quarterback out there standing there naked with 275-pound guys coming after him at 100 miles an hour. He can't see. But he's trying to do his job.
I like what Niner Mike said, though. He's like, and I'm not trying to like come at you, Ronbo. I'm just saying everything has to be perfect for us to win games. Like, we can't have a player go down. We can't have a guy misses block, or Jimmy might get hurt, or Jimmy might not make his throw, or a running back might take a tip. Like, like every play has to be perfect. A quarterback that can
all that is understandable.
Not
a little
not
exaggerated.
Always play off script.
A little exaggerated, but it's understandable. But I do say that applies to just about every quarterback in the league, except for maybe 2 or 3. And, maybe Deshaun's one of them. But we're going to run out of time. We already did. Let's continue. Let's continue Sunday on that page, because that's a good place to start.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, Phil. Thanks. All right, Alex. Have a great night.
Later.
And it's Chill Pill Phil. Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Well, Phil.
We're not drafting a quarterback in the first round.
I know.
We're not.
I just like the conversation.
Come on, let's get real
that would be
here.
Ridiculous. We got so many needs. We're not desperate for a quarterback. Some people think
here's
so.
Here's the thing, Ronbo. Here's the thing. We got to sign Trent. And if we go for Watson, we're going to trade all our draft capital.
This is why he's not going to New York.
Be able to
he even knew it. He said, I can't take every last
player.
I'm
just saying,
so Texas is asking for a lot.
Gone if you go for Watson, because they're going to demand it in Texas. And then how do you fill your other needs, like offensive line and cornerback? I mean, those are the things we got to fill. I mean, what is Jimmy's record when he starts? What is it, 26-8? I think something like that.
That's what makes me laugh so much.
Watson's
I'm going to get rid of a quarterback that's been winning.
Games?
Yes, this is what makes me laugh. I'm going to get rid of one of the winningest quarterbacks percentage-wise. Yeah, I need to get rid of him. Why? He's hurt. How do you know he's going to get hurt? You don't even know if he's going to get hurt.
If we had a good offensive line, he wouldn't get hurt. So, I mean, come on, man. My take is, we signed Trent, we signed Verrett, we signed K1. I think K1's going to have a bidding war with the Jets because I think Shotwell might poach him. But I think we need K1 if we can.
I wish.
And then we keep Jimmy. And next year's quarterback class is better than this year's. Okay?
Really? People
don't see that. But there's 10 quarterbacks coming out of college next year that are first-round grade. Versus this year, nobody's going to take Trevor Lawrence's spot, but there's only a couple quarterbacks that are really, really good.
And they were untested this year due to the situation with the conferences, too. You're right. So drafting a quarterback this year is really a high risk.
Next year, we're going to have all those third-round picks from all those free agents like Richard Sherman and everything. We could trade up and get a quarterback next year. Go with Jimmy this year. Hopefully we can renegotiate his contract, save a few million. The other thing I want to settle is D Ford. D Ford's going to get $11 million if he can't pass the physical, right?
And
if he can't pass the physical, right? And then he gets $4 million for his signing bonus. But he's got a cap hit of $20 million. So even if we cut him after June 1st,
not saving
we
any
still
money.
save $5 million.
Well, at least that.
And then after June 1st, we can spread it over 2 years, which means it's a $7.5 million cap hit this year and next year. So, if D Ford can't play, you're still going to cut him. You're going to save $5 million, and you're going to spread it out over 2 years. Because it'll be after June 1st. So
Phil, I think that's what he's waiting for, too. I'm thinking he's banking on the 49ers cutting him, and he can just take his money and run.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if he'll ever play again.
I don't think
he's
so.
back.
Yeah. And D's got
and
some...
if he can't pass the physical, nobody's going to take a chance on him, so he's done.
I wouldn't anyway.
So
he's coming in limping.
I mean, yeah. But if he can pass the physical, then the Niners cut him and they save another $11 million. So,
yeah.
either way, he's
Pay
going to
the
get
doctor?
cut. Yeah. Well, how do you think back spasms? I just don't know. But
No,
and
and especially if they're going to last all year long. Phil, the question in the chat is, what quarterbacks are you talking about coming up next year that you think are attractive?
Well, I just saw a podcast on them, and there was like 10 of them that were first-round draft picks. I don't remember the guys, but I'm not a big college guy. But apparently there's more quarterbacks coming out next year than there are this year. So I just wait if that's the case, and
so
trade
Lee,
up.
Big Show, attention, please. When you guys get a chance, get in here and tell us who are the quarterbacks of next year. I know Big Show wants to trade one right now, though. He'll still know, though.
I don't want to trade this year. I want to win this year. I think
The
we
Super
can
Bowl
do it with
window's
Jimmy
open.
and Josh Rosen.
Yeah, I don't have time to
and
be training people. Let's go.
I wouldn't trade away Bosa or Kittle or any of these guys that people are talking about. That's just stupid. I mean,
Phil,
if we can stir up our offensive line, and then stir up our, get a shutdown corner and put Red on the other side, we're going to be, and get a safety in free agency, which there are tons of them this year. We could be a number one defense and a top-notch offense with Ayuk and Debo and Kittle and if we sign Juice, I mean we'd be fine.
This is what I'm talking about.
We'd be
Legitimate
fine.
offensive weapons out there now. That's why I want to see this team get out there, play fast. You guys know each other. Let's go. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And getting a right guard and a center, and we're set. And we'll compete.
There you go. Phil,
we'll compete.
Always love talking to you, Phil. You've always got exactly those great answers, even though Trey doesn't like them. Trey! Hey, Phil, let me see you Sunday and bring some more goodness. Okay?
All right, man.
Have a
talk
great
to you
night.
later.
All right, Phil. Night.
Bye.
Trey, you've got to learn to relax more and think clearly. Hey, John!
Ronbo!
John, you look at all those golden boys. Every year they run down the red carpet before draft night. They got their mom or somebody hanging on their shoulder with the wardrobe. The NFL paid over $1 million for each one of them and their whomever. And they come in and picking at number 3, blah, blah, blah. And everybody goes nuts. He gets up, looks like he's getting ready to come in and rule the world. 6 months later, and the Miami Dolphins are thinking about moving, apparently, Tua. What? So, John, help me understand. Is there a reason to draft up in the first round to get a QB?
If you're not drafting Trevor Lawrence, no, period. Okay? Trevor Lawrence is basically the closest thing to Andrew Luck. So if we're going to trade up for a quarterback, we better trade with Jacksonville. So it's so funny how, everybody wants, the next great quarterback. That's the quarterback. All the other quarterbacks, we don't know. Like, we don't know Justin Fields, if he's going to turn out to be, as good as he was in Ohio State. We don't know Trey Lance, if he's going to be what he did in 2019. We don't know Mac Jones, how good he's going to be if he has to go to a team that doesn't have weapons. It could work here because we have weapons.
Yeah.
And then Trask, in my mind, is the only quarterback, if you really want to get a quarterback that you can develop in a year or two, is probably the only quarterback I would wait for. Because at the end of the day, I'm not sure what I can say about, quarterbacks, who we're going to get. Because in Boston, there was a reporter who sat down privately with Kraft, and he said privately, he didn't want this information to come out, but somehow it came out, says that he regrets trading Jimmy Garoppolo. He regrets trading that, and he hopes that the 49ers will trade him back because for some reason he wants him back. At the end of the day, he chose Tom Brady, and now Jimmy Garoppolo is back. So when you have an owner who has buyer's remorse, I hope he stays here, Jimmy Garoppolo, and wins so he can tell Robert Kraft, you had your replacement after Tom Brady, but for some reason you wanted Tom Brady more.
No, because Brady came into the office crying. That's the funny thing. And Belichick tried to tell both of them. So that's hilarious.
So, and then Miami, I don't think they're sold on Tua.
Not at all.
And I would not be surprised if they reach for a quarterback because, when it comes to the draft, quarterbacks are not drafted where they're supposed to be. Teams are going to draft quarterbacks always early in the first round because they believe that, quarterbacks, if you basically, are lucky to develop a quarterback, we don't know. So at the end of the day, I would not reach for a quarterback unless the Niners are desperate, and I don't think the Niners are desperate. And I know a lot of teams are going to be trading up to that number 12 spot. Like I said, the Bears, they don't know if Mitchell Trubisky, they could jump up, and we can get another second-round pick if, all these, draft, trades are correct. And Washington, I know they're not going to go with Alex Smith, and I don't know who's the backup behind them. So there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be calling the 49ers. Even New England says, we may even have to trade up to get Mac Jones. So at the end of the day, the 49ers, that 12th pick, every day is becoming more and more good for us. So for us, if we have the player that's still on the board that we want, we'll probably take him. But if there's a team that really wants a quarterback, I know John Lynch is going to be on that phone when that 12th, the Niners are on the clock, and he's going to be on that phone talking to like a bunch of teams.
Mm-hmm. And way before that 12th pick comes up, too. It's going to be interesting to see because, the 49ers are looking to stack up picks. And everybody else thinks, we need a quarterback. No, you need a quarterback. John Lynch says we need players. So, I'm looking for that to happen. I would bet, John, right now, if Vegas has odds out, will the 49ers trade up or down? I would put some bucks on down. And I quit gambling years ago.
And then, like John Lynch, he sees talent always somehow between the 3rd and 7th round. Amazing. I don't know how he knows these players. He knows that the first round picks are going to be always, so we'll see what happens.
Could be interesting. Could be fun. Draft night's going to be amazing, especially if we trade down in the first and then trade back up into the first. Because didn't we do that once? We did it last year, didn't we? Yeah, we did it last year. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know, like, for sure, I know the Niners are not going to trade, but I think, like I said, probably the lowest will probably be Washington or the Bears. But I know a team, between those will probably trade up because there are a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
John, real quick, where do you think Sewell's gonna fall?
Who?
Penei is how far down in the draft do you think he's going to get picked up? Penei Sewell.
Probably like the lowest. Probably the lowest if everybody wants a quarterback is probably the Bengals because he is the best player in that draft. But because everybody wants a quarterback, if he drops past the Bengals, watch, a lot of teams are going to try to trade up. That guy is big. That guy is huge.
Okay. That's because I think if the 49ers are going to target anybody, I could see him trying to move up to get him if he dropped down to like 5 or 6. Anyway, we'll get into that later. We're out of time. Let's see you Sunday.
All right, Ronbo. Always a pleasure talking to you. 49ers.
Can't wait to hear from you, fam. All right. Night, John. Hey, Rick.
What's good, man?
Oh, Rick, man, we're looking at this draft, and I ran down through a little rhetoric and history with Kyle Shanahan, and you look at some of the things that first-round quarterbacks have delivered, and the best quarterbacks were traded up for the most part. When you look at Lamar and you look at also even in Buffalo, and you look at of course Mahomes, these guys weren't considered the top 5 picks. People had to come and get them. So it's an amazing thing with quarterbacks. I used to laugh at Trent. Boy, Trent can't draft no wide receiver, and he sure as hell don't know what he's doing with a quarterback. Because they say that Cap was actually Harbaugh's pick, but Trent lied and said it was his pick. But you know, Rick, when you see the way he treated Cap, you knew that was not Trent's pick. Why would he treat you? Don't nobody treats their picks like that. So this is why it's a scary thing to draft a quarterback or a wide receiver in the first round. But are you considering is it a good idea to draft up in the first round?
No, not right now. Because the thing about it is, first of all, I want the Niners to settle this at this point. Either say we're going to go with Jimmy G and stick with them, meaning we're going to extend him, and he's going to be our quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years, whatever, and stop this every year. we're reaching out, we're looking into. Because I mean, I get it on one hand because you always want to upgrade, but on the other hand, what if Jimmy G and Don Yee, his agent, come and say, you know what? Either love me or let me go. Either extend me or trade me, or I'm gonna hold out.
Yeah.
So I want the 49ers either just commit all the way to Jimmy G and say, look, we're going to, Jimmy G, you're the guy for the next 4 to 5 years. Because the thing about it is, if Jimmy G has a good year this coming year, like everybody's hoping, if Jimmy G has a good year, we could potentially have the same situation that the Cowboys are having with Dak Prescott. Because in a minute, he'll go from where we could possibly get him for like 30, 35 million to where he'd be like, well, hey, I had a top 10 season. I want 40 million starting out.
Rick, you know what?
And so I need
that's an
so
interesting.
I need the 49ers to. So I need the 49ers at this point either say, look, if we're going to commit to Jimmy G, commit to him, extend him now. Don't wait until he has a good season
and then
all this stuff.
Demand more money. That's an interesting point.
And then they add a lot more money.
Yeah, because his contract is it expired next year? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it expires next year.
I hadn't thought about that.
And so we have
Watson,
to, because the thing about it.
And the thing is, Deshaun Watson
and Deshaun Watson
less expensive because if Jimmy resigns next year at market value, then he gets Dak's money.
Yeah,
especially if he does well, we end up in the playoffs or beyond. Now he has this. Yeah, that's pretty scary.
So I think we need to make a decision now regarding that. Obviously, I want us to resign Trent Williams. I know we can't get Penei Sewell because he'd probably be in the top 5. Yeah. I'll probably look at Rashawn Slater, another offensive player. If not, now the only other person that would make it interesting to me, if he fell, if we had an option of going with either Kyle Pitts or like J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain. I mean, because the thing about it is, as much as I like Surtain and J.C. Horn, I think this dude Kyle Pitts comes in and is a top 5 tight end right now. He'll be right behind Kittle, Kelsey, probably Mark Andrews, and probably Dan Waller from the Raiders. But I think other than those four,
and maybe you can find a corner in the second round or draft back up into the first. Get Pitts at 12.
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. Because at that point, but then, to me, that goes back to what I'm saying. If we're all at this point, stop playing around with this Jimmy G situation. Either we're going to be all the way in and going to extend him. So therefore, like you said, it's in the message of Trent Williams. Hey, this is a guy we're going with. It can kind of make we can kind of really build around him. We can go get Alex Mack from Atlanta after June 1st, get whoever else, whatever the case may be. And now we have, especially with Kyle Pitts and Kittle, God almighty. Then you have Ayuk and Devo, and then Nichols and doggone me, Mostert. There'll be no way, but we have to make a decision. Either crap or get off the pot.
Because
Crap or get off the pot when it comes to Jimmy G at this point.
Exactly, because I don't think Jordan Reed, I don't know what he's going to be charging. I doubt the 49ers bring back Jordan Reed. Because they're going to think,
he's cool, but I mean, I would take Kyle Pitts over him easy. I don't think he can command that much. Because I mean, he's coming off an injury season. I mean, he did good, but he didn't play the full season, and I mean, he did good in flashes. So it's not like he had a better season like Barrett did this year. He had a season more like Barrett did the previous year. I mean, he did more, but he can't come and say, "Hey, I've showed you I'm still a top 10 or top 5 or whatever tight end." So we could possibly look into him, but I would prefer if we could get Kyle Pitts, because I think that dude, outside of, to me, the three, if I was going to make 3 kind of surefire people, I would say Penei Sewell, I would say Trevor Lawrence, and I would say Kyle Pitts. I would say those 3 are like almost can't miss.
Can't lose.
Prospect.
Yeah, that's true. I tell you. Well, we're going to find out, because Kyle's going to shock people. I didn't know nothing about what an Ayuk was until suddenly he was on the team, and now everybody knows what an Ayuk is. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing I'm happy about more about this season, upcoming season, is that I think we've upgraded our backup situation. So this coming season, I don't want, whether it's Mullins or CJ, long as they're third on the depth chart and not number 2, I feel better with that. Or even looking into bringing in somebody else, another maybe Fitzpatrick or
you can always do that, because he's always seems to be available. I don't think Miami's not going to let him go. That was an accident. But Rick, we're out of time. Let's see you Sunday and some more
Absolutely.
stuff. All right.
Absolutely. Hey, Niner Faithful, Niner Empire coming in from Texas. We got our heat and power back on.
Oh, good. I meant to mention that. A shout out to our people in Texas. You're calling in, so it's okay. It's warming up too, right?
Yeah, it's finally warming up. And you know what? Honestly, how Texas is, by next week, we'll be back in the 60s and 70s. It's just being from Texas, we're not used to
freezing
extreme cold, especially in the single digits. And with that and no electricity, it created a huge panic for everybody. But things are starting to loosen up and getting better. Hey, with Niner Faithful, Niner Empire, let's go and shock the world this year.
We sure will. All right, fam. Night, Rick.
All right, man. Night, man.
God. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't know Rick was in Texas, man. Hey, boy. God, we're watching on horror what's going on in Texas. And the stories are really so heartbreaking. 49 Lakers says, from my mouth to God's ears, Deshaun Watson, please. Y'all might as well get up off your knees. Texas ain't letting Deshaun Watson leave. Would you let Deshaun Watson leave? He's not leaving. Tony Knocker, shout out to production. Ronbo, hey, thanks for the form, Tony. Production, here's you. They appreciate it. Thanks for the contribution as well. Hey, Nigel.
What up, Ronbo?
Nigel, man.
How's it going, man?
Having fun with, the speculation is Jimmy G in 2 years in a row. Here's the funny thing about Jimmy G. One of the best winning percentages in the NFL for the career he's had as a starter. He's been to the Super Bowl. The team doesn't win without him. But we need to get rid of him. And we're so desperate for a quarterback, we need to trade up in the first round, get rid of some assets to get him. You say this, and it sounds like comedy, but it's a lot of fans are behind that. Nigel, are you trading up, or are you just going to go for something else that's necessary, or do you think there's a need for one of the quarterbacks in the draft?
I think that one of the top 3 quarterbacks, of course, we know who's going first, but like if Wilson or Fields, I think those 2 guys are probably going to be going in the top 10 picks as well. But if for some reason one of those guys falls back, which I seriously doubt they will, that's when you would probably consider taking one of the quarterbacks with that 12th pick. But as far as trading up, I would not trade up for any of those guys. I would only pick up quarterback if one of those two guys fell, to the 12th for whatever crazy reason.
And and now you can take
But
Trey out of it right now. Saban was at his pro day. Not another coach or GM was there. He said, hey, we know you're going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Why should I spend my gas and time coming over to see you? I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So everybody else not named Trey is Lawrence is involved, but that's it.
And even Lawrence kind of scares me. I don't know. There's something about him. I just kind of get a weird vibe that, I feel like there's a big buzz factor there. But, I mean, I don't think that concerns us anyway. And I would not be trading up for any quarterback that's in this draft. Like I said, if one of the guys, I really like Fields. I think that the way a lot of teams are playing now with guys like Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, he might not be as good as them, but he has that type of style. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of he has a big arm and he can run around. But I mean, I wouldn't be training up for anybody.
I'm pretty sure he's going to fall at least to number 8 or 9 minimum.
Yeah. I think he might fall. Probably not to us. If he did, I would. If I was in those shoes, picking, I would be taking a serious look at that.
And they will.
At 12. But other than that, I think that what we should do is, I just don't think that's the style of Kyle, especially Kyle. I just don't think that he wants a rookie quarterback to come in right now and try to take over the job. I think that if anything, he's going to look for a veteran quarterback if he's going to go after somebody other than Jimmy. I think that what's going to happen is that Jimmy's going to stay on the team because, quite frankly, we're not, as much as, even I wouldn't mind a upgrade at the quarterback position, we're not desperate. I mean, he's a good, serviceable quarterback. He can make it happen if he has a team around him. And we do have a good team. We have a good core around him. We just got to get that offensive line straightened out. And what I think we need to do is, if we can't pick the offensive lineman that we want at 12, like that we know that can come in and start day one, then maybe just trade back, get more picks, and build up more talent in the draft from,
especially the way our people draft. These guys do a good job of the draft. I mean, Adam Peters, we lost. I wonder how much we lost. Our other of the trio, Adam Peters, Martin Mayhew. I wonder how much input Mayhew had. We're going to find out. We'll see a difference possibly. But Peters is a bad dude when it comes to doing this. He is really good.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They find a lot of the diamonds in the rough for sure,
and fit the program.
They're good talent evaluators, and yeah, for sure. They're just good. They've proven to be good talent evaluators in the middle of the draft, and I don't know about the top of the draft because that's, there's a lot of players that
get overrated every year.
They're overrated. You don't know in the top 10 if that person is really going to pan out or not. I mean, it's just been proven over and over again. But
and then you get
as far as quarterbacks
go. Go ahead. You got Pettis sitting there in your second year. Okay. Dante, is there anything I said or did that makes you play like that for me? If I'm the coach, I'm asking you. Come on, man. You look better your first year.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what happened to that guy? I think it's more of a mental thing too, with some players like that for whatever reason. It's just mentally because physically,
fear is a factor with him.
It seems like they're okay, but anyway. The only move that I think that we should make at quarterback, if we're going to make any move, I say we just go freaking all the way in on Deshaun Watson if we're going to make a move. Other than that, I don't want to really see anything else other than Jimmy G.
And when you say the word all out, that's what's going to take us. I think Deshaun even shut the deal down between. I didn't even know Jets were involved, and they said Watson backed out because the team would lose so many assets they wouldn't be able to build for a long time. So the Texans are asking for I don't know what it could possibly be, but they're stripping teams naked. If you want Deshaun Watson, you can have Deshaun Watson. We want every damn body you got. So never mind.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. That's what we got to go,
just the
Phil.
way it is.
All
right, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Always a pleasure. Man. We'll see you Sunday. All right.
All right.
We'll
see you later, man.
Bye. All right, Phil. All right. And there he is. The 49ers Ultimate Report says to Rams fans, a healthy 49ers team is the best team in the NFC. Sorry, Rams fans. But don't let that stop you from lining up that rhetoric and sending that BS. You can smell it every time you post it. Hey, there's Tony. Tony, aloha, my brother.
Aloha Friday, Ronbo. How you doing?
Doing great. Tony, it's like as we move closer to the free agency is a horror. I mean, for us, because we don't know who we're going to lose. But the draft is intriguing because you know who the people are that we're dealing with. The first round is one thing, but I'm going to be excited if our guys pick up like 15, 16, 17 picks in this draft. Tony, God! Oh!
I'm getting more and more excited for the draft every day that gets closer, and the more that I learn and listen as I'm taking a look at Twitter and reading all the various media outlets. First of all, I kind of outlined, after reading a whole bunch and listening to a whole bunch of 49er talk today, I kind of got an idea for how the 49ers should proceed, in my opinion. First of all, Niners need to end all this quarterback nonsense right now and restructure Jimmy Garoppolo's deal. He's got, I think, 2 years left on this deal, right? And according to actually Sports Illustrated Leo Luna, if they restructure, they could clear up like $11 million of space going into this year, which would give them enough money to go after and make a good offer to Trent Williams, which honestly is our biggest and most critical free agent signing. And also with that extra money and with the cap that's going to come in now at least $180 million, which is $5 million more than what we had feared from before, we should go and sign center Alex Mack. No doubt about that. And honestly, looking at it, we shouldn't be afraid to let Jason Verrett walk in free agency and instead re-sign Ahkello Weatherspoon and also re-sign Emmanuel Mosley to his restricted free agent offer that we can make to him. So basically,
there's $5 million right there. Yeah.
Yep. So keep Williams, get Alex Mack, re-sign Ahkello, and then extend a restricted deal to Emmanuel Mosley. All right, those four. Let's talk about draft for a second now, because just because we offer Trent Williams a deal doesn't mean he's going to take it, because he should go in free agency. If we don't manage to re-sign Trent Williams, I think we should trade up to either 3 or 4 and not be afraid to draft Penei Sewell. Okay. And I like that going forward. And let's say we do end up re-signing Williams. And even though we're going to hold on to Jimmy Garoppolo in this scenario, I think, we should take a look. If Fields is there at 3 or 4, we should take a look and maybe even move up to draft Fields, not to start right away, but to give him a year or 2 to sit behind Jimmy G, the same way Jordan Love right now is sitting behind Aaron Rodgers and getting ready for them to play, or accruing more value for a future trade. Either way, it's going to improve our backup quarterback situation if we went into the season, if we have Garoppolo starting, Fields behind him, and then Rosen taking the third string snaps. I kind of like that. Now, if Fields ends up going number 2 to the Jets, which is definitely possible, and we also manage to re-sign Trent Williams, we should stand pat at 12 and hope that Rashawn Slater is there and draft him not to play tackle, but to play guard. Okay. And that way we would have totally revamped that offensive line. And then, of course, if the Cowboys sniff Slater at 11, which I think is possible because Slater is from Texas as well, we should just take best player available at 12. And that, could be Kyle Pitts. That could be Trey Lance. That could be Patrick Surtain. Or honestly, if he's there, Mac Jones. But either way, the key is we should free up money and keep Jimmy G for at least 1, probably 2 more years and get the next guy ready. But honestly, hold on to Jimmy G. What do you think about all those ideas?
I like him. And I was wanted to ask you, where's your priority as far as cornerback or all? You mentioned offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Is a cornerback on in your line of thinking, Tony? Because I'm torn between the two.
So
but Surtain and then the offensive lineman. Go ahead.
At 12, the way I see it, if we, I mean, again, this is all hypotheticals here. At 12, we should go, in the event that Slater is off the board at 12, I think we should go best player available. And that's in my order. I say Pitts. I say if Trey Lance is there at 12, we draft Trey Lance to sit behind Jimmy G. I have Surtain after Trey Lance. And then I have Mac Jones after Surtain. And the reason why, Ronbo, is, again, in my scenario, we're re-signing both Akello and Emmanuel Mosley.
True.
And I think that would be serviceable. And then, going into next year, I think we have to pivot from the strength of the team going away from defense and the strength becoming the offense. And, and that's just kind of the way that I feel. And all at the same time, that does start with the offensive line. And so in all these scenarios, it's all about prioritizing offensive line. So if we lose Williams, we have to go after Penei Sewell. We have to make an honest trade up to try to get Penei Sewell if we lose Williams. But if we re-sign him,
that's going to actually be a determining factor, Tony. You're right. The 49ers will go all out to get a guy like Sewell.
I think so. I think so. And again, if you get him at 3, he's on that rookie contract for 4 years plus a 5th-year option. There's lots of advantages to going up and do that if we fail to re-sign Williams. But this is all also contingent upon creating the cap space to actually re-sign him, and that requires us to restructure Jimmy G and then take it from there. And let's see what we can do, and let's try to be a playoff team next year and maybe go all the way, right?
And I wholeheartedly agree, because the window doesn't stay open forever. Because people running around saying 49ers in rebuild. What team have you been watching? The 49ers in somewhere in Russia? There's no rebuild going on in San Francisco. No. It's plug and play from here, and that's how they designed this team. Right. You can see.
Yep, absolutely, Ronbo. Anyway, I'm sure I got other callers to take, but I just wanted to say thank you, sir, and I will talk to you soon.
Always love your input, Tony. I'll see you Sunday.
Yep.
All right, fam. Night, Tony. And Collie Young comes in and is very Tony. Collie thinks he's been smoking that Hawaiian greeny. JV as a must sign, and you let Spoon walk. There could probably be a lot of pushback on that argument. I like where Tony's going with that, but I could see where there'd be some argument on that. Especially but I got to tell you, here's the thing about first-round cornerbacks. I'm trying to remember, other than Lattimore, who's the last big success coming out of college as a cornerback in the first round? There he is, right on cue. He's that Ram of Rams. Rudy says, and Rudy goes by the alias of Rams Reloaded, and Stanford is ready to roll. Anytime you see a long, boring, ridiculous title with the Ram logo, that's Rudy. Now, who changed these from time to time? Last year, he was Golf owns Santa Clara, something stupid, and we found out that wasn't true. So here we are again with this. But anyway, Rudy goes on to say, a healthy Niner team, ? Psst. Rams got to division round. Golf had screws in his thumb. At left tackle, for knee, came back after knee surgery for playoffs. Sissy Niners, call the sissies. There you go, guys. You got Rams Reloaded in Stanford. That's Rudy. Come at him with extreme prejudice. Okay. Hey, Steven.
Ronbo, how you doing, man?
Steven, man, we're looking at the potentials coming up here soon, as you know. We got the fun part. Oh, this is like almost as fun as the season when you look at free agency and the draft, right? Draft with pageantry, free agency with who wants to be a 49er. It's like, But right now, looking just a little past free agency, which is going to determine what we do in the draft anyway, which we're doing this backwards. But would you draft up to get your quarterback if you have a quarterback that you want?
Ooh, that's a tough question. That is a tough question because here's the thing, Ronbo. Man, first-round quarterbacks usually are never that good in their starting season or whenever they do plan on starting. They kind of just blow apart. If you really think about it, the last time there was a top QB coming out of the draft, going back from last year, the one that stands out the most is Justin Herbert. That dude throws dimes, And so when you're going into the draft, you're trying to trade up.
Steven, was he in the first round?
I believe he was in the first round.
Yeah, you had to.
He was one of the top 10.
Chargers didn't have any choice. They lost.
Yeah.
What's his name to Indianapolis? Right. Okay.
Yep. Old man Rivers.
But nobody talked about him. Nobody talked about Justin Herbert. Not really. They talked about all the other guys in the draft as far as quarterbacks go, but not much was said about him.
You know, Justin Herbert flew right under the radar, and that's exactly what I feel like the Niners are going to do. Yeah, sure, they sent some scouts to look at Trevor Lawrence's camp, but really, you know, I don't know if you saw that, but they were mainly there looking at the receiver that was catching all the passes from Trevor Lawrence. Now,
really? Is that right? I didn't hear about that, Steve.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they sent scouts to Trevor Lawrence's tryout for the NFL before he went to go get a surgery to not only look at Trevor Lawrence, but mainly to look at the receiver that was catching all the passes from Lawrence. So it's not like, you know, we're not really in dire need of a replacement quarterback because we have Josh Rosen, we have Jimmy G healthy back next year. Hopefully he stays healthy. But, you know, they're kind of going to, I feel like they're probably going to go for some QB that we're never going to know about because that's exactly what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan love to do.
That's what they do.
You know, we never
That's
knew
true.
who Javon Kinlaw. We never knew what a Javon Kinlaw was, and we never knew what an Ayuk was. Now we know, and we love him. So it's like, you know, I'm not. That's a tough part about talking about QBs. You know, QBs in the draft because they're either a wash or they do really good. It's never in between. You know,
Right.
and that's the worst part
If you
about
never get
it.
a serviceable one, he's either great or he sucks. And that is true,
Exactly.
especially first round. Oh, weird.
And so I can't really give you a good answer of like, you know, if they're going to go for a QB or trade up for a QB. You know, I don't know. You know, because the way Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch think, it's going to be completely different. Now, as for all I know about the star-studded QBs, there are a lot of hidden QBs that I probably don't know about, or you know, no one else knows about. But what I was hearing, I believe, what's his name? Tony, the guy from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He was saying that we should re-sign Trent Williams.
We have
As
to.
much as I want that to happen, if he walks, I say go for Alex Mack. Go for Alex Mack. Get a nice veteran that knows how to play this process.
Mack's at the center position, Stephen. Mack's at the center position. You know what? If Trent walks, it's going to, you know, you're going to see the whole city of Santa Clara. There's going to be a glow over the city that day and into the night and all overnight because the 49ers are going to say, damn, he wasn't supposed to do that. Kyle, listen, get everybody in here. No sleeping tonight, man. We got to work this one out. We're going to either trade up or we got to do something. Get the guy from Indiana. There's another guy. That would screw everything up. Steven, do you realize Trent not signing is going to be huge?
Well, here's the thing. He wants a lot of money because it's his final years in the NFL. So he wants his bread.
I know.
Now. He doesn't want it later. He doesn't want it then. He wants it ASAP, on the dot. With the first thing he wakes up when he, you know, drinks his coffee is that check right then and there on his table.
He's going to frame his contract and everything on his wall. You know what, though? There's going to be a lot of competition. We're not the only people that his phone is going to be working. I mean, working his phone. So, you know, it's going to take a lot of romance by the 49ers to get this done. It's not going to be smooth and easy. We're going to be going like we did with Robbie and everybody else. Will be saying, oh, Jesus Christ, is he going to sign? 3 days later in that week, oh, Jesus, Trent still hasn't signed. 2 weeks later, they got a contingency plan? I hope so. You know, we're going to be going through all that. Get ready for it.
It's scary because, you know, we haven't heard anything about Trent Williams in a long time. You know, as soon as the season ended, we're like, oh, we need to sign Trent Williams. That was the talk in town, besides, you know, replacing Jimmy.
And
that
his
was
haircut.
like the main focal head point.
We heard about the Debo conversation, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it, though.
We've heard about everything else under the sun, but we've never, ever since then, I haven't heard anyone talk about Trent Williams.
Well, that's what the 49ers are, though. That's why, Stephen, 49ers do not let things get out of the house. That's why people start running around with these, I got an inside source. No, you don't have an inside source. There's no such thing as inside source with the 49ers. No. Everything stays in-house.
No, unless you work for them, there is no inside source.
Yeah, so.
And now we've got, I'm not going to lie to you, Ronbo, we got a lot of big fish to fry this season. You know, I hope we go crazy in the draft. You know, I hope we get, you know, if we resign Trent Williams, that's going to be a lot of money we're going to have to shell out. But we did get an approved cap space of 180. So maybe that's what, you know, John Lynch was talking about. Maybe he already knew. Because remember what he said? He was like, "Oh, anything above X amount of dollars is gravy."
And you got to remember, they're going to be giving strategic contracts out. So maybe we don't need to worry. John doesn't seem to be too worried. But see, we got to go. Let me see you Sunday and see what else develops between now and then. Okay.
All right, Ronbo. You take care. All right.
You too. Have a good night. Thanks, John.
Good night.
Steven, right? Yeah. All right. 49ers Ultimate Report. He says this Rams fan is trying to cash a check that he does not have. What happens if Stafford gets hurt? 49ers number one. Even if Stafford doesn't get hurt, the 49ers are nobody's chump team. This is why last year I was so excited because I said, there's no team in the NFL right now that can deal with the 49ers if they just stay healthy. Why did I say that? That's, I think, what killed us, if they stay healthy. Charles, production says you got no audio. You're going to make some adjustments there. I think, Charles, you got to work your audio because can you hear me? Yeah. Charles, you got a couple of buttons to push. We might have to send you directions on that one. Okay. Hey, Derek. Derek?
Yep, I'm here, Ronbo.
Derek, we're throwing out there the risk. You're sitting in a chair. They got you tied up, the hot lamp on you. Guy's holding a gun on you and says, all right, your life depends on this. Are you trading up or trading down? And better make the right choice because if you're wrong, you know what follows. I love drama.
I mean, well, I'm going to make this real quick, Ronbo. I think that the Trent Williams thing, I don't think that's as cut in stone as people make it out to be. No. I mean, there's options because, like people say, these people can come in and start straight out of the draft. It just depends on what we want to do. And the fun thing about our team this year is that we have a lot of draft capital right now.
Yep.
We don't have to, we can wait for some of these players from other teams to get cut, and then we can pick them up. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, I keep forgetting about that. Yeah.
The other thing, too, Ronbo, that I want to bring up, I wanted to bring it up Wednesday, but, I get so carried away defending Jimmy sometimes because somebody's got to do it. But is the fact that continuity counts a lot still because as of right now, everybody is acting, but we're acting as if training camp is that's set in stone, and it's not. So what happens to these teams that are bringing these quarterbacks like Wentz or Stafford, any of them?
Good luck.
And they don't get a training camp, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about because
right.
If we keep Jimmy, get him an O-line, we fare a lot better than a lot of these teams.
Hit the ground running.
That are switching quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I said it before. I said it Wednesday. I think we need to go O-line first. I mean, if Bosa comes back and looks like Bosa, then our defense is automatically a lot better than what it was. Than the O-line is. Mm-hmm. I think the defensive side of the ball will be better. Even if we lose Tart, I still think it's good. The people behind him are playing damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's going to raise – and Bosa coming back is going to raise – because Javon Kinlaw, Nick's his hero. I'll never get over that video of Javon coming through the line. They're like – it looks like a in sync, in the swimming pool. I mean, they're doing the same moves. They're coming to the line, same handwork, and Javon's just following Nick's lead. I said, look at that. He came in. He says, I'm going to be like the best guy on this team defensively. That's what stopped his growth. But Javon, if he's got Nick next to him next year, look for Javon to explode. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting, Ron, but I think the ball is totally in the Niners' court. We keep Jimmy. I mean, if we don't have a training camp, that's the thing that people aren't talking about. If there's no training camp, we're in good shape. Yeah. You can't get rid of Jimmy and bring a rookie in, then what?
Dead meat.
How's that going to look?
Dead meat.
Yeah, exactly, Ronbo. But keep this red and gold train rolling, Ronbo. I'll be listening.
All right, Derek. And as you said,
man.
Well, let's see you Sunday.
Jimmy G, baby. 2021, baby.
You know I'm behind you on that. Got your back all day. G.
That's right. Night, Ronbo.
All right, Phil. Night. Hey, it's Okay, Charles, we're still having no audio. Hey, Charles, call back. Yeah, I'm told to tell you to call back because you got no audio still. Okay. Santana.
So, Ronbo, how you doing?
Santana, man, sit back here, man. Here we are. They're looking, there's reports going out said the 49ers should just caution trading up for a quarterback. This is like, and I've always wondered how many quarterbacks in the first round are coming out and really kicking butt. And they weren't even meant to. When you look at Mahomes and Jackson and even Josh Allen, you know, these guys were looked at as long shots. And who battled for the AFC Championship? So, you know, it's you look at your first round pick, be careful about spending that pick, or else you end up like Trent Baalke saying things like, you know, the thing about your first round picks, oh yeah, you look like a great quarterback in college, but this ain't Kansas, Dorothy, and you could be in big trouble. You know, so you know it's hilarious that what a GM's got to think about. He's got a lot, but we got good football people in position now, unlike Trent and others, and they know what to look for. And if they want to go for a quarterback in the first round, you believe they pretty much know what they're doing. But do you want to trade up or down for a quarterback?
You know, I'd rather trade down, you know, like I will, you know, accumulate picks. But I mean, if the 12th round comes and there's a good player available, like, you know, it's either like between, you know, Rashawn Slater and Justin Fields or Kyle Pitts, if they're there, you know, like, or even what's it called, Micah Parsons. You know, you can't trade down. You know, you got to pick one of those players because those players are, you know, can change your team around. You know, and you know, I like Justin Fields. I think he has a bigger upside than most of these than the quarterbacks like Zach Wilson and whatever quarterbacks are available besides.
Really? You're the first person I've ever heard say that. You like Fields better than Wilson, huh?
Yeah, I like because you know, like you could tell he's still a little raw. But I mean, if you put him into Kyle Shanahan's system and Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan gets to groom him the way he wants him to see the field, give him time to sit behind for a year or two. I mean, you can, you know, especially being a mobile quarterback too as well. I mean, he could be something, you know. So I mean, because he can move and he can throw down the field.
Because I'm not watching him. Has he got good pocket presence? Because this is ultimately the thing that's going to determine if Kyle likes you or not.
He's he can move around the pocket, that's for sure. You know, and you know, but when I say raw rumble is that he might delay throws. You know, When I've seen him, he takes a little longer to throw balls than he should. You know, step in and throw quicker.
Yeah, that means
some of the guys were open.
That means he's got decisions. Because you know that's what CJ's problem was. Yeah, but anyway, it could be coached, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but like I said, give him a year or two, and I mean another thing too is that you know, he can move, Ronbo, and we saw in some of last year Kyle Shanahan's play with CJ Beathard, there were some plays where it was a quarterback, you know, run. So I mean, you know,
yeah, but
especially Kyle Shanahan,
low percentage.
If you remember,
really low percentage, because when you got, you know, the other thing is now you've got playmakers out there on the receiving end. Kyle's gonna want you to get rid of that ball quick. He's just not interested in running. You know what I mean? If he does call a quarterback play, a run play, it is for some reason. But normally, Kyle wants to get rid of that ball quick. He wants to get it into the playmakers' hands and let them do their thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can keep that defense on edge, you know, having a good running game and a passing game, I mean, come on, man.
But that's why we got premier running backs.
You know?
That's why we keep running backs like we do.
No, that's what I mean. You have a premier running back group and then some good wide receivers and then a good mobile quarterback. I mean, come on, like, you know, it's going to be hard to hold. But I you know, I don't know if you ever heard Kyle. Did you ever see Kyle Juszczyk interview with? It was like on a YouTube channel, and they asked him about, you know, I think it was like does Kyle like certain type of players? And he said that Kyle Shanahan, I think it was more of like Kyle Shanahan adapts to the players that he has. So I mean,
but they have to check the boxes before he even gets you, though. You know, he's got his prerequisites. I mean, you need to be able to do this, this. That's why I tell you that mobility you're talking about. That's going to be number 2 on Kyle's list. You need to be able to orchestrate from that pocket because Kyle wants to get rid of that ball. He wants to read the field. Kyle's philosophy is there's always one guy open.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You see, if he gets Justin Fields, you think he's getting right off of college,
more right up plays for him to run.
No, not that. But no. What I'm saying is, you get him fresh. You don't have him. You get him fresh off of college. You sit him for a year or two, and you make him learn, or not make him learn how, but tell him like, I want you to read the field first before you use your legs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean,
have him transition into that, then coming out of college and start drawing plays for him to run. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see. But
the thing about that is, every coach is going to know if that kid knows he can rely on his legs. He may not invest as much focus and concentration on finding that receiver because he knows he can bail on a play. I think that's where Kyle's mindset is, which is why he didn't grab Watson in the first place because he had a misunderstanding about him. But, he might think about him now, though. And actually, John Lynch is the one who kicks himself because Mahomes, he's the running quarterback that doesn't run but can kill you from the pocket, as is Russell Wilson, who doesn't want to run. Is Fields of those two guys' character? That's the thing.
Yeah. But what's it called? Yeah, and then I heard I think earlier a guy called from Hawaii. I like
Tony.
his idea, sign, try to get a restructure from Jimmy G's contract.
Yeah.
Sign him. You got Josh Rosen, and if you want to pick up a quarterback in the draft and let him sit for a year or two, and
learn.
See what happens,
That's it. Santana, we're out of time. We always run out of time quickly. So let's see. Let me see you Sunday, though. Okay.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right, fam. Have a good night.
Later.
Hey, KC, if you don't believe me, read up on philosophy, Shanahan. I'm not making it up. I read all these guys. Emilio! I'm sorry. Wait, Emilio on. 49ers on the report. Rams reload. I respect your opinion. Let's see what happens in 2021 first. And yeah, I'm a diehard 49ers. Oh, yeah. 49ers Ultimate Report. You can't reason with Rudy. Rudy's a polite guy. He's very disrespectful when it comes to the 49ers.
It's called an idiot.
Emilio! Oh, God. We get to abuse Rudy for how many years in a row now? 2 years in a row, and Rudy's still talking. Hey, Emilio, but hey, I'm talking about trading up and for a quarterback. I already know how you feel about this. But Emilio, there's another situation here that the thing about restructuring Jimmy and stop fooling around with him so we have to go through this every year, or Trent Williams, if he bails on us, what are we going to do?
Oh, no, it's just, like I said, it's just, I don't know. You can look at it so many, we can trade up, not trade up. I mean, it's just what we all want to hear, honestly. Just, you know what, we all want Lynch to say, you know what, we're sticking with Jimmy, deal with it, or, we're getting rid of Jimmy. That's what we all want to hear. Are we going to stick with him or not? So
they kind of did, Emilio. Just nobody believes it. Or most people don't believe it.
They did. But, I mean, it's just everybody wants to officially come out and say, you know what, you guys, he's our quarterback. Whether you like it or not, you're a fan, deal with it or not.
You can't be that impolite.
They just
piss people off.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just saying. It's just that's what everybody wants to hear. It's just like, you know what, this is our quarterback. We're going to go somewhere in the draft, and so be it. But I just think for some reason they do that, especially coming up the draft, is because, they don't want to just tell the whole NFL, not just the fans, the other 31 teams, this is what they're doing. We're keeping Jimmy or not. So you might well wait till the draft. What's going on? Of course, everybody speculates that Jimmy's getting cut. He's going back to the Patriots.
I love that one.
Watson. I mean, it is cheaper to cut him. If
I
you
know.
think about it,
But
it's
how
kinda,
feasible is that?
It,
And now you don't have anybody.
no, it's kind of stupid because then, okay, what was the point of paying this guy? He got us to the Super Bowl.
Cut
Now
him.
you're just gonna cut him? I'm like, there's no point. You can get something for him, even if you get a third or fourth round draft pick. You can get something for Jimmy
Right.
because
And Belichick
he's a
and
winning
Kraft-
quarterback. Not like he's not a winning quarterback.
I mean, that's what I laugh. I look at his record. I look at what the 49ers look like without him. And I said, this is really it's a joke. And Belichick would say, good God. Hey, John, listen, you know what? I don't even want you to cut him. I'll give you something for him. This is too easy, okay? What do you want? Belichick, right?
And then and then you hear the Patriots talking about we don't want him. That's some straight bull. If we cut him, the first thing that Belichick's going to do is go
Within
to
the
Jimmy,
hour.
and then we can get something else. Yeah.
Within the hour.
That's not, or
Maybe
he
within
might
the
just
first 30
wait.
minutes.
He'll just wait and then see what they want. But no, if we cut him, he'll go to the Patriots. No other way he wouldn't go there.
And he could get bid on. But contrary to 49ers' beliefs, I don't know if you checked out, but Carson Wentz is not a bad quarterback. People in Philly are worse than 49er fans. They are talking about Carson Wentz. Ooh, God. I listened to one show. I was laughing about it. People are pissed off. God, they talked about Carson bad. He's a bum. He was a bit of a mistake the whole time. He's had nothing to do with the success of Philadelphia. And the dude hung up. Damn.
Well, you got to think of everybody's a bum until you get cut off the team. Everybody praises him, and then finally he's cut. Oh, the guy was a bum. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit's doing the same thing about Stafford. He was good, but he couldn't amount to shit. So they all do it. Even when we got rid of Alex, we got rid of Kaepernick. Everybody liked them. Everybody said, they're all right, but they couldn't do nothing. So it's just, it's like me. I tell you straight up, I didn't like Garcia, and I see why. Because he always got us to the wild card and couldn't do nothing better. I mean, you can say it's not just him, but
Russell Wilson Jr. Yep.
So it's just
So quarterbacks they got a rough. I guess that's why they get paid so big. Their life is rough.
Well, I mean, that's the ones who get it the most, is because they get blamed for everything. The team wins, they get the praise. The team loses, they get all the praise. I'm like, well, the receiver couldn't catch the ball, so we're gonna blame the quarterback because the way he threw it.
Had to drop it in zone. That would have won the game. Get rid of the quarterback. Okay. See, were you paying any attention? No. So.
No, it's just everybody else wants to hear, like, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. That guy doesn't know. So it always goes that way. Because even when I say I think I'm right, and sometimes I'm wrong. But, everybody always has an opinion. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's wrong.
Well, of course, that's the way football sports talk goes. But because I said Jimmy came in. He's had nothing but rookies and second-tier receivers. Okay. So, it took
he
a
hasn't
while.
had nobody.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It took a while to build an offense. We got an offensive unit now, a wide receiver unit now that looks pretty solid. I like it. I think they can go places. But, Jimmy was still winning. Well, that had nothing to do with Jimmy. It's about the defense and the run game. Okay, but Jimmy was still on the field. All right. I don't know if every quarterback in the league can get away with that. We've already proven that's not possible.
That's why I kept saying to you, especially in the beginning of the season, and I kept saying, I'm like, if Jimmy honestly cannot win with Ayuk,
and Debo and Kittle, it's time for him to go.
And if Reed comes back, I'm like, dude, it's time that you let go. And even with Mostert, and if we have another running back, I'm like, dude, you have literally 2 receivers now, maybe 3. You have 2 tight ends possible.
And those are blue chip receivers. And we're going to run
Emilio. You stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like I said, if he can't win with this, then I say, dude, you're done.
Yeah, he
Get
can
him out
go.
of here. Even if mid-season, everybody felt about mid-season, he can't get it done. Yeah, dude, you're done. You get out of here. We need a replacement.
The fathead comes down by game 9.
Firsthand.
Seriously.
That's what I said. If he can't do it, then I'm done with Jimmy. I just want to see if we had a shot last year, but all the injuries didn't allow it. So finally, if he stays, I really want to see what happens and see if he can really do it. And after this, if he can't, then I'm off the Jimmy train, and Jimmy can kick rocks.
And the 49ers will
but
be too.
This, I need to see it first.
Yeah, the team will be go another direction then quickly. Look at this. We did it again. Let me see you Sunday.
Hey.
And just have a good old night. You must be off today. It's quiet.
Oh, yeah. No, I took the day off. Not the day off.
All right. I'll see you Sunday if you get a chance. All right.
All right, for sure. I'll holler.
All right, fam. And, Here he
Yeah,
comes.
man.
All right, Emil. it's Fly Guy, who always has an alternative spin, no matter what it is. Woo! Hey, Fly Guy.
Ronbo.
Fly Guy, tonight we're trying to figure out, is it a good idea to trade up in the draft to get a quarterback or not?
I just want to address the offensive line and John Lynch.
Really? Oh, no, you got to think about John. I forgot about that. Yeah. Right.
The offensive line, like you said, we signed Trent Williams. Last year showed that you can have one good offensive lineman and you have a bad offensive line. So we need to save the money and rebuild the whole offensive line. Let's go in the draft and free agency and fix the whole line. Because we had Trent Williams last year and it wasn't working. Why give him all the money? Don't make no sense.
Yeah, but there was more than Trent Williams. We lost too many people. Otherwise, we didn't have no center.
We had the whole offensive line. It would not work if we just have one good offensive lineman and then everybody is like.
Oh, you want to get 5 good offensive linemen like the Cowboys?
Yeah, let's fix it up. Let's get the money and fix it up. Like get some linemen in the draft, free agency, and let's move them around. Like let's fix it up.
But Fly Guy, you're not going to get any good offensive linemen out of free agency because all the good offensive linemen are hard to find. They're already on teams. So
but Trent Williams is too much money, so it's going to hurt the offensive line then help it. Trust me.
Well,
it's not going to help.
Your best teams have an expensive left tackle, so that's not unusual. But you just got to hope that the rest of the offensive linemen can, at least if they're not high priced, they can do a good job. You look at McGlinchey on the right side. McGlinchey's not as bad as we think he is. He has a problem every now and then in protection, but not always. We just see him when he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But for 4 quarters, he's probably not that
Let's save the money,
bad.
man. Let's save the money and we build offensive line. We can do it.
Okay, how you gonna do it? You said you got to get some guys in free agency.
We can draft some. We can draft some offensive linemen.
Yeah, but that's a
and
risk.
If somebody available in the free agency, we pick them up. We have money to pick them up.
They're spending money though. In free agency.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like Trent Williams, one person for $30 million. Like,
so you don't mind spending less expensive guy. He might come in and
let's get like 3-4 guys each.
All of them,
$5, $6, $7 million each.
Totally cost. Fly Guy.
Then we
5,
pick
6, 7
the
million
best
each. We're gonna be in the same trouble. They're gonna get beat.
No, we can get the same. Okay, for example, right now, most days the best running back in the NFL right now to me, and he's not making it. He's not making no money.
You think Jeffrey Wilson's
You can get some good players for cheap.
You said running back.
Yeah.
No, but
I say Mostert is one of the best running backs in the NFL right now, and he's not making no money.
But running backs don't get paid a whole lot, though.
Yeah, but he's not making what other running backs are making, and he like the top to me.
Well, he needs to.
Okay, let's go to John Lynch because I know his forward.
Okay, well,
one mistake.
Go ahead.
Okay, John Lynch now have a assistant general manager. Before the free agency starts.
He's always had
I don't know
those
if
guys.
you heard about it.
He's always had those guys. Adam Peters and Martin Mayhew. Mayhew's gone. He's always had those assistants.
Peters got promoted to assistant general manager.
Yeah, he's always been there though.
Yeah, but he got promoted on the 49ers website.
Okay.
And one mistake John Lynch made, Kyle, they did a press conference that said that Jimmy G is our guy. You don't do stuff like that. Now you make it almost impossible to trade Jimmy G because you already commit to him.
Well, maybe they were serious.
You just be quiet, huh?
Maybe they were serious.
But you don't do that. Something better can come around, just like how Brady came around. We'd already commit to Jimmy G.
They checked him out. They didn't think Brady was a better idea.
Right now, if we have a chance to get Roger right now, you can't tell Jimmy G, Jimmy G going to look at you like, you said I was going to be the starting quarterback, so we cannot even get Rodgers because you already commit to him. That's a rookie mistake from the general manager.
Yeah, they always let Jimmy know. They told Jimmy they're going to go talk to Brady. You know, okay, Fly Guy, the 49ers are kind of transparent with their players. They don't BS them, you know. So Jimmy knows what's going on at all times, pretty much. He understands it's a business. When they say they want to keep Jimmy, I don't think they were joking, Fly Guy. I think they're serious about that. So, you know, it's just like Deshaun Watson over in Texas. Texans have, and actually, I think, same with Rodgers, they asked people to stop calling. We don't really need to have that conversation. So, you know, it's the fans that want Jimmy gone, not the organization.
Yeah, but you should not commit to any players. No, just be quiet. Why? Because now we can't trade Jimmy G right now because he's gonna look at John like you said I was a quarterback. How you gonna trade me now? Like you feel me? Like,
as I said, he tells
it's a done deal. So we stuck with Jimmy G now.
That's not true. He tells Jimmy what's going on. If they're going to trade, and also, as I say, Fly Guy, the 49ers are tired of telling people. They've told, the 49ers have told people 3 times Jimmy G's our guy, and people still keep coming. But they do go out and your name gets involved in some of these other people's names. But they're not interested in these people, Fly Guy. They're not. But anyway, Fly Guy.
And one mistake, I think my time is up, right?
Yeah. We'll see you Sunday. Hold that thought, though. I'm always curious as to what you're doing now. So wait, come back Sunday. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, man. Night. Hey, Krusty.
Hey, what's going on?
Krusty, man, I'm looking at this thing. Because, you know, the thing is, nobody has taken out time to figure out the first-round draft picks. Well, they have. Everybody's probably known about it, but just didn't think about exactly who was involved. The first-round picks down to the last year's, it's been 10 years. First-round draft picks are like, and wide receivers are struggling with that stat, too. It's amazing how many first-round picks suck as far as the 49er, for the quarterback position goes. When you go down the list, only 2 or 3 of these guys, out of all these years, has actually impressed anybody. But the 49ers have an option, of course, trade up or go get something you really, truly need. Krusty, where are you at on this?
I wouldn't trade up for a quarterback. I wouldn't even draft a quarterback in the first round. They're not going to do that. My personal opinion is we need to draft Rashawn Slater. That's my personal opinion. Because, you know, there was one thing we were missing last year in our offensive line that is a key part, and that's the center. We didn't have a center at all last year.
Is Slater a center?
Imagine if we had – no, he's not a center. Alex Mack. I want to get Alex Mack. Mack. But I want to draft Rashawn Slater regardless of if we sign Trent Taylor or not, or Trent Williams or not. Because if we sign Trent Williams and we put Slater, we put him in the right guard position, and we put Brunskill back as a backup. So I'm thinking, regardless, and if we can't get Trent Williams, he'll be our left tackle. Draft Alex Mack because we didn't have a center last year, and it showed. Our offensive line was horrible. We had nobody in there. So
important spot.
Yeah, I'm thinking this: if we're going to move up, we move up to draft him. If we think that someone's going to take him out from underneath us, and if we don't get him by 12, we go back. We trade back. You know, I don't see us getting that, and then that's who I think. I think we should draft him. Rashawn Slater. That's my personal opinion.
That's
the only person I would trade up to get.
Who else? Slater plays what other position besides? Is he a guard or a tackle?
He's a tackle. He's a tackle, but he can play guard too.
Okay. All right.
He's a big guy.
He's versatile.
So,
okay, good.
Because I think our offensive line was horrible last year because of the lack of the center position.
No, you're absolutely right.
Play center most of the season.
And with Alex Mack, he orchestrates what Jimmy does too, which is really special. You know, Alex Mack, he's going to diagnose that defense and tell you exactly what you need to do. With the guys we had last year, Garland's probably not bad at that, but Richburg is like the best at it. But Richburg's broken all into pieces. So, you know.
Right, exactly. So, you know, like I was saying, we need to sign Alex Mack, which I honestly think that we're going to do that.
I do too,
Draft
actually.
Sean Slater. And regardless if we sign Trent Williams or not, because we need someone in that. I know Brunskill does good at right guard, but having Slater there, even if he doesn't start at right guard at first, he can sit there and learn behind both Brunskill and Trent Williams. Because what if we just sign Trent Williams to a one-year deal because of what's going on, you know? And then next year we let him walk and Slater moves over to the left side. Because we're going to draft the linemen. I don't think there's any defensive linemen, in my personal opinion, that are worth the first-round pick. Not by the 12th, you know, move back. That's what I said. If we move back if we don't get Slater and then pick up a defensive lineman back there. I'm not really sure who I draft back there, but it's going to be offense or defense.
No, you're
the
right.
line because
they do it every year.
Track record is that's what they draft every year. Yep. So.
Yeah, and as you say, the offensive line, it has to be stable. I mean, for all the blame JG gets, he's out there usually on his own. Well, all our quarterbacks are usually on their own after the ball gets snapped last year. So you had some stability in the offensive line, and the BS about the quarterbacks will quick. Because we saw it in 2019, you know? Run game was slick.
Right.
Everything was right.
Right, but like you get like everybody keeps giving Jimmy crap, but like I said last time, it's like Jimmy got hurt, even Mullins got hurt behind that offensive line. Every running back we had back there got hurt.
So
every one of them then spent his time on the IR.
Yeah. It's not just the quarterback.
Everybody got, you know, everybody got hurt. So, and another thing is I don't think I'm don't want to really draft a defensive lineman in the first round if we can get one out of free agency, you know. I know the possibility of I heard Carl Lawson from the Bengals could possibly be someone that we could possibly pick up for a cheap that could replace Steve Ford. But he also could possibly get paid a lot of money if someone wants to go out there and spend the money on him, which can take him right out of our price range.
But Chrissy,
I think
not a lot of teams have a lot of money. So this is the thing.
I know.
We're in the mix for just about anybody this year. So.
Right. Like I was going to say this, you know, Deshaun Watson, I don't want Deshaun Watson. You guys, I don't care what people say about him. I don't think he'd work well in our system. He's a stat guy. Kyle doesn't like stat guys, you know? And the only reason he has stats like that is because he plays in a crappy division. He's playing against all these things, and he had a losing record. He was all of his yards probably came at the end of the game, you know?
And when you come from behind all the time, of course you're passing. That's what I say. You know, I don't want to say anything about that, but I see. You know what? I like Watson, but come on, let's not make him the perennial god. Yeah. He's good, okay, but they get carried away.
And one thing, this is one thing I got to say to Rudy about Matthew Stafford. He played in the NFC North. That's a crappy freaking division, you know. He's moving to the NFC West, which is probably the best division in football. So he's it's going to be harder for him. He's probably going to be worse than he was over with the Lions.
I'm looking forward to that. You know? Yeah, Christy, we got to go. Yeah. I love the points. I'm telling you, man. That's what I told him about that last week. Rudy's just talking. God, he's setting himself up for pain. Right. Hey, Christy, let's see you Sunday.
All right. God. See you Sunday.
All right, fam. Night.
Later.
Yeah, Rudy, man. Rudy, Vikings, Bears. Who else is in that division? Vikings, Bears, and then Vikings, Bears, Detroit. Who's the fourth team? But, I mean, you know, that's not the NFC West. Big boys climb on big ring. We are drafting quarterback this year. The 2022 quarterback class isn't supposed to be this good. I don't see Kyle missing out. Yeah, thanks for that contribution. Yeah, Kyle's going to take a quarterback. He's not going to be the quarterback that everybody's looking at, though. Kyle's always going in another direction. Renzo. Renzo. Oh, my. Hey, Renzo. Renzo must be busy. Hey, Bethel.
Hey, what's up, Rumble?
Bethel, man, tonight it's all about the fun, about this fun time of year when we're drafting, right? And the 49ers have built a reputation, as you and I both know, of picking out players that we knew nothing about beyond the first round. That, shucks, we got a couple of Pro Bowlers. You look at George Kittle, you look at Fred Warner. Those are not first round picks. They should have been. So, Bethel, I'm thinking they're going to trade down. Some people can't get over Jimmy. They hate him so bad they don't care. Just get rid of assets. Draft us a quarterback, please, in the first round. I don't see that happening, as good sense will definitely take precedence over foolishness. So,
I have a feeling that they might end up trading down.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
Because the Patriots really need a quarterback, I think they will trade down with them so they won't go down that much and try to get the player that they need.
Bethel, one question though. One question on that. Maybe the Patriots want to call John, but maybe they want to trade up and also take Jimmy. Maybe they can do both at the same time. Because the Patriots, I think they wish they would have kept Jimmy in the situation they're in now. Because Jimmy was fine with the Patriots. He wasn't having. He was having trouble.
Remember, the Patriots, they seen him up close and personal. When we kicked their ass. And then plus I heard that Bill Belichick still actually talks to.
They were in conference all the time when he first came with us. Yeah, that's just Belichick and Jimmy are close.
And then another thing about D Ford, I seen a video of D Ford picking up weights and doing some reps on weight. If his back wasn't, if his back was really that hurt, then he would not be doing that kind of stuff.
But what did you see him doing? Was he benching, doing squats, or what?
He was doing squats, like the ones that you put on your shoulders. Those
that's
the ones that you go up and down.
Yeah, that's squats.
Yeah, he was doing that.
He was doing squats.
So
then he could pass the physical.
So that's why I think they're not really worried about him passing the physical, because if he's doing that kind of stuff, then his back should be fine.
Remember, wouldn't it be funny if D Ford starts for the 49ers next year, and we're here talking about getting rid of? I'm telling him D Ford should retire, and you're telling him he's doing squats. Bethel, did it look like he's lifting heavy weight? Did he have 3 or 4 plates on each side?
It's those kinds that it's just one whole plate, and he was lifting up a pretty good amount of them. And that's why when I seen that video, I'm all like, and I see all these people talking that he's not going to pass the physical. I'm all like,
we're just guessing.
Is that? Yeah, I'm more like, people are just guessing, and that's why I think they're not worried about D Ford. That's why they're not saying anything about D Ford, because
Lynch said they're not sure if he's. It's not guaranteed he's gonna return at the beginning of the season next year.
Then maybe he's gonna pass his physical and they're gonna cut him. Maybe that's why he's saying that he's not gonna come back.
There is that possibility. It's scary with him.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of stuff that could happen. It's just that you don't know.
I know. That's the way it is with Santa Clara. You have no idea what they're doing because they're very good at keeping secrets. But trading down, you pretty much think that's what's going to be happening instead of trading up, huh?
Yeah, because if they really want to get some good players and they want to build up, remember, if we pick up anybody in the first round, you always have to start them because that's why you're picking them in the first round. So if you're going to get a quarterback, a lot of teams like to, basically because you're going to start them.
Yeah.
Unless you have somebody that you could learn in back of them. So it depends on how they roll and how they start going about everything.
Mm-hmm. And number 12, you're not going to get the best of quarterbacks. So the 49ers aren't. I can't imagine somebody trading up to the 12th spot. You know what, though? I could be wrong. A good quarterback, one of the guys that everybody talks about, he could still be in the mix going into number 12. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So.
Hey, remember? Was it, I think last year, there was a lot of people that said certain people are going to get drafted and that they're not going to be available. And there was a bunch of people that were available.
All in the second round, I know.
And and that we could have got. It just.
We didn't have a second round pick.
And, we didn't have one. So.
So that's why it's good to accumulate picks. And I don't know, the 49ers only have one second round pick right now. We got more than one third round pick. But the 49ers do some great work in the third rounds and fourth round. So we'll see.
Yeah, so it's you're not gonna know who falls down to us or who we might get. So it depends on if D4 is not gonna come back or they're gonna cut him. They just need to wait until he passes a physical, and they don't have to give him a lot of money.
Yeah. We're going to see, Bethel. We're going to go, Bethel. Good stuff.
Right.
And I'll look for you Sunday.
All right. Like, always good show and hit for Ronbo
Thanks,
Sports.
Bethel.
Let's go.
All right, fam. Looking for you Sunday. And we go back to Renzo. Unless you hear any equipment, it's not Renzo.
This is Renzo, and he is off tonight.
Oh, no wonder we didn't know what was going on. Renzo! Well, Renzo.
What's the dealio, my brother?
Oh, Renzo, remember, I'm trying to figure out whether the 49ers going to trade up and get the quarterback that everybody wants. Are they going to trade down? Or what are they going to do? Renzo, what do you think they're going to do with that number 12 pick?
I think they're going to trade back. They're going to go down. I think they're going to accumulate some more picks that'll definitely answer the Jimmy Garoppolo question. Like, yo, Jimmy's here to stay. Deal with it. But me, I think I need an offensive lineman if I'm gonna use that 12 pick.
We all do. Oh man, I just don't want to see that offensive line looking like it did last year. We couldn't even run the ball.
Yeah.
They got the point, they stopped it. Except for Jeffrey Wilson just insisted on running. They couldn't stop him. But Mostert, they just busted him all up. What's his name from Atlanta? He got out there and ran the ball 4 or 5 times all year. They beat his ass. It's really it's scary what the offensive line went through last year.
Yeah, and if they do trade down, I think that kills the Deshaun Watson scenario. That's like, yo, we moved on. We're done with that. That'll kill that.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about that during free agency period anyway. But no, that's right. Trades can go on all into that could go all the way into the draft night. That's right. But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think Houston gonna want anything past the 12th round, the 12th pick.
Yeah, and Houston wants more than that anyway. They want players, they want picks, and you heard about Deshaun,
they want
right?
The grandparents, the firstborn.
Yeah, who want to be able to get free dinner at your house every night. It's so funny because Deshaun actually nixed the deal or said, "Look, man, the Jets would be so depleted. Ain't no point in me going over there. I could stay here and get my butt beat."
But Ronbo, honestly, with that though, this is my opinion. What I'm getting out of that, Houston is telling Deshaun, "Listen, man, we will destroy your career, or you better play."
That's what I was thinking. Whatever team you go to, Deshaun, they ain't gonna have nothing because we're gonna ask for everything they got.
Yeah, they man, I kind of feel bad for the guy.
I do too because he doesn't want to stay there. He doesn't.
Yeah, and those. I ain't going to get in there because that could touch some people the wrong way, subject like that. I'm going to move on.
I know. But they've had that plantation attitude over there for a while, and it's not a secret. Everybody knows about that. I do feel sorry for Deshaun for that reason. But the Texans, everybody's leaving the Texans for a reason. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but if the 49ers, you know what I'm saying, if we want to move up to the number 1 overall pick, since I'm here in Jacksonville, I could put in a word. I'll put in a word with the Jaguar organization.
To get Trey. It's so funny because you saw Trey's pro day, right? Nobody was out there but Saban. Yeah. I couldn't stop laughing. What is this? Okay, so it's understood. We don't need to do the draft, right? Just sign him up now, then. God.
And D Ford, I was talking at work. I think D Ford is trying to get that the physical year when it started, get that little roster bonus so he can sit down. Mm-hmm. Even if he don't play, I kind of figure he's going to get that money and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm retiring.
He'll be a bunch of dirty names, Rizzo. I think you're right, though. I think that is exactly what D's trying to do. Somebody caught him. He's got video footage out there of him doing squats. I'm cool. You ain't cool.
Yep. And Trent Williams, like you say, this their last contract. He's trying to, hey, this the last hurrah. He's trying to get that money. But the thing about it, Trent will play, though, so that's why I'm not mad at him. Yeah. Because I know he will play. Yep. He's a Warrior, so
and play hard.
We might well go ahead and lock him up and be like, hey, bro, we'll put you in the ring on in like a few years.
Because I can't get a rookie out of the draft expecting to play left tackle right out of school in the NFL. That would be scary because we got enough problems as it is, So they're going to go all out and sign Trent Williams, even if we have to lose somebody like Ferret or Juice. I think Williams is priority 1. I'm hoping to keep all 3 of them names I just called, though, Rizzo. Oh!
You know what? Hey, Ronbo, I'm gonna give Spoon one more shot, man. I'm gonna give him a shot. If they bring it back, I'm gonna give him a shot.
I got no problem with that. Yeah. In fact, I think he should come back. We always seen Spoon when he made a mistake, but he wasn't making mistakes all game long. And I know DK would just as soon not have to be bothered with Spoon. Spoon's got something that bothers him. He got away toward the end of the game, but boy, Spoon was containing him, all up in his face, jumping around, messing with him. Look at Spoon. So, we may be okay with that.
Right.
Also, you might as well keep Mosley, too.
I'm going to keep it short, man. The wife is off where I get to spend the night with the wife, man. I'll catch up with y'all later, bro. Y'all
you
be
wasn't
safe,
supposed
man.
to be here to begin with, then. You're supposed to wife. Said, what are you doing?
Oh, no, she just got home. She just got home. She's eating right now.
Cool. All right. Rizzo, I'll be looking for you, man. I'll be back Sunday if you got time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be off. I'm not working this weekend, so I'll be off.
All right. See you then.
All right, man. Y'all be safe, man.
You too. Night, Rizzo. And, hey, Lee. Come on in, Lee.
What's up, Ronbo?
Lee, you've heard the names being thrown around tonight. I always like to refer to you. You mentioned Slater. I think you've mentioned Slater before, too. There was another name mentioned, though.
Yeah, Mr. Versatile, because he can play along the line, Ronbo?
Yeah. And that's pretty much the kind of guys we need. As long as he can play every position well, not just be a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
He's the second-rated tackle, Ronbo, the guy Slater. I just feel like there's going to be. Remember when I say to you, I mentioned him, and I said he could be a pick if we go O-line, if we go D-line. Quiddy Pay's the top-rated guy. I said to you, I'm really high on the BPA because I feel like there's going to be someone really good that's going to fall to 12. That's a definite top 10 guy. And I heard Rick talking before, and Rick's a smart call. I like what he says on. But last year, I gave him a shout out the other day, and the reason I went over a pasture and I went back and had a look at the last draft, and he said he felt like you take Lamb or Judy because they're the best receivers at 13. If they ain't there, Kinlaw is the pick, Ronbo. Yeah. And he said 13's too high for Ruggs. So, he's pretty onto it. And that's why I gave him a shout the other day. And he said Kyle Pitts earlier. And Kyle Pitts isn't a huge need, but he's an
I know. It's just a sexy pick, Lee. Every year there's that guy, because even back in the first year when they came, they went and got Solly T. I said, get that running back coach out of Stanford. I thought that's what you were looking at. I need the Mac. But they didn't, and I was right.
Exactly, Ronbo. And yeah, and we went need and we went Solomon Thomas,
That's
and it
what we
backfired
needed
on us because we didn't go the best player available. We passed up on the Mahomes, the Watsons, the Jamal Adams, guys like that, the Christian McCaffreys.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say to people, like, you don't always have to go need people. Like, you think you've got to fill that need, but if there's a better talent, take the better talent. And a lot of people will say that Pitts is a generational tight end. Like, you don't see these tight ends. They're once-in-a-decade kind of players. And that's why a lot of the time I'm going to take the BPA over the need every day of the week, because if that guy's talent at that need position isn't near the other guy that's not a need but has a way higher ceiling and way higher talent level, he could be a way bigger upgrade to your team than picking this good or average player in this position of need.
And you should put that reliance on that draft pick. Actually, Lee, try to remember the last team that you remember. Well, I guess when you pick around 30, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, what's the last team that could pick BPA? I'm trying to think of in the early rounds. This is no such thing, is there? Because if you're picking the early rounds, we're picking out of need.
The BPA?
Yeah.
Well, I think, preferably you'd go for a guy that's BPA and need, like, for instance, the one off the top of my head was a guy like the Colts, I felt like Quentin Nelson, when he was picked that year, he was a need, but he was a huge BPA. There was no guy near him,
at that particular point in the draft.
And you don't really see guards go that high, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that year we got rid of Trent Brown, and then the need was tackled, so we had to go McGlinchey in our team's eyes, and that's why they went there. And that's what I mean. Like, so many times that need pick is a bust pick.
But you look at Sagan. The Giants picked him up. What is that, number 3?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon,
yeah. Well, he was a high talent guy. And that position, and a lot of people say you can get running back second, third rounds quite easily. Kamara was a third rounder that year. We got Thomas.
But that's something. When was the last time you saw a running back get picked that high in the draft? So that's really, Leonard Fournette went pretty high too, but still,
Leonard, yeah.
So BPA would be so fun.
That's the thing. Yeah, and there's offensive picks are the sexy picks, and you get guys like Big Show and Chris Scholes. They always want their sexy pick, and that's why when I look at this draft, I see guys like Surtain to me is the pick I'd probably take if he falls, because he's need and he's talent, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Like he could be an easy number one corner, and it's a need we need as well. So I feel like it's a big upgrade to the team. Mm-hmm. A guy like Slater, he is really good, but I don't feel like he's as big an upgrade to the team as some other positions, because I feel like you can get guys near him in the second or third round. There's guys like Wyatt Davis, who's an exceptional guard. There's guys like Trey Smith. But the problem I see there is that Kyle doesn't go for those guys because they're not his scheme fit, even though they might be the most well-rounded player in that position. They're not what he looks for.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. See, and that's what a lot of people you'll start noticing over the last year or two. They started to pick up on that. Mm-hmm. And, like, we always go for these scheme-specific guys, Ronbo, instead of maybe the most highly talented guy or that student trait.
Question on that, though. When they do that, do you think they know what they're doing? I mean, you say, they get a guy that knows they're going to fit the program, not necessarily the best football player that was available at that particular time in the draft. I worry about that to some degree, but at the same time, you look at some of the guys they got. I look at Debo, and then you look at DK. If you had to do over again, who do you think they would take?
Well, a great example of that draft, but I wanted Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, they call him. He's a number one receiver, and he was grading in the top 5 in the league the last couple of years. And the guy was like, he went after both of them. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that year, Debo was a good pick. He was like a top 5 guy, and he's a scheme fit because he does a lot of the things that Kyle wants in a running back that most receivers can't do, right?
Fits what Kyle likes to do.
He's like a running back.
Exactly, like you're saying.
Yeah.
He's got the diversity Kyle wants. But which one was really the best football player?
Well, I feel like it's Scary Terry because if you go look at numbers, the guys, or some people will say DK, but I feel like DK is really limited because in our
He is.
offense, we couldn't use DK how Seahawks
He
do
is.
because of Russell Wilson's arm compared to a guy like Jimmy's. You know, you throw a lot of shorter throws, and he's a deep guy. You see him down the field.
And you're not going to see DK coming around in those sweeps and some of the other things. Some of the short routes, you really don't see DK doing much short routes. He's usually going deep down the field. They tried to do that against the Rams, and it didn't work. But still, I just like to watch him play.
And that's the one thing I give him credit for, because Debo was one of the times we actually hit on Ronbo, but I was telling the guys in our chat today, I go, you know, we hit on Debo and we got Ayuka was a good pick in the late first, but we gave up 12 picks to get 2 solid receivers if you go through it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of draft capital to get 2 guys, you know, and that's why I say to you, I like to go the best player available, the highest talent guy, because there's more chance you're going to hit than if you're taking these scheme fits. Every now and then we'll hit on a player, but the chances we hit has been a lot lower on the, you know what I mean?
I agree.
And I don't feel like we can afford to lose this draft, but we've got to win this draft.
I know, right? Well, they're going to have plenty of picks, so they probably should be okay. Lee, we got to go. All this good stuff. Though. I got to tell you, though, by the way, I just want to make clear to anybody, I'm not Debo. I love Debo. Debo stays healthy. We win.
He's great,
he is tough. So, but anyway, Lee, let me see you Sunday.
Thanks, Ronbo. Shout out
Right,
to my
man.
name, Pa. Thank you.
Thank you. Great day. Here he comes. It's time to forget about it. It's Niner Mike. Mike! Oh, Mike. Niner Mike.
Forget about it, Ronbo. What's
going on? If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. Mike!
What's going on with... How the hell are you tonight, Ronbo?
Oh, fantastic. Mike, man, I'm sitting there wondering the 49ers, because, you know, it's always fun to speculate what the 49ers are going to do, because we're trying to hedge up our own sharpness with the intelligence of the 49ers front office. And everybody gets fooled every year, Mike. We have no idea what they're going to do. And even after they do it, just sit there and scratch your head and say, what the? I didn't see that coming. Like last year.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that, Ronbo. Sometimes it's like that. But listen, hey, look, I want to say one thing, and then we'll get started in the topic of discussion for the evening. All right.
All right.
Listen. This is so everyone knows. Niner Mike listens. All right. I'm not just one of those people that talks. All right. I listen too. And you had somebody call in earlier towards the beginning of the show, and that their argument was, how come? I want to hear that he said he wanted the 49ers to commit to Jimmy G and move forward, either commit to him or not move. And listen. And I want to say this because I understand the guy's frustration, all right? It's frustrating to be one of those teams that has the uncertainty specifically at the quarterback position, right, Ronbo? I mean, it's not, you know, when you think of the 49ers, that's not exactly what you think about, you know what I mean, when it comes to how we've always been over the years. So to be in that kind of category, you know, kind of sucks a little bit. So I understand the guy's pain, but here's the problem, Ronbo. If you buy a car and in 3 years you only seen it one time, are you going to commit to 3 more years using that car? You know what I'm saying, Ronbo? Ronbo, you there?
Hey, Mike, I think you went to the bathroom real quick, champ.
We lose the connection. Oh, we went to the friggin' bathroom. You know what? All right. I'm not even going to talk then. Ronbo, listen, Ronbo.
Hey, Mike.
Come on, Ronbo.
I had to go to the bathroom. I knew you'd be a minute, and I'd come back. Mike, I didn't mean to be rude. You're right. I'm sorry.
All right. Listen, this is what I'm saying here, Ronbo. All right, look. And I mean it in all honesty, okay?
I do. I know you do.
Like I was saying before, everyone wants to commit to Jimmy G and all that other stuff. So here's the deal: if you bought a car and you had it for 3 friggin' years, and you only seen the car run one time, are you going to commit to 3?
Mike, you worked on that one.
Are you going to commit to 3 more years of that car, right, Ronbo? So that's the issue with that. So for that caller out there, think about that in that regard, and then maybe you might be able to answer your own question. Now, when it comes to trading up or trading down, Ronbo, in the draft, Look, I really don't give a shit what they do, Ronbo. What I do care about is that they make the right choices, and the other thing I care about is that they don't get any kind of like little sentimental freaking relationship with any one of the players. You know what I mean? Because that's really what happened with the whole Solomon Thomas thing. You know what I mean? He went to college there with John Lynch. John Lynch liked him and fell in love with all that other. We got to keep it real business-like, Ronbo, and we need to address the issues at hand, and we need to address them thoroughly. You know what I mean? I like the idea of the Pitts kid because he's a good kid, but at the end of the day, we already got an all-pro at the tight end position, so it's not really a position of need. I wouldn't want to spend a 12th overall pick in that situation. You know what I mean, Ronbo? I'd rather see it go to a cornerback. Look, it's been a long friggin' time since we invested in our secondary, Ronbo. Like
way too long, actually. Yeah.
Way too long. You know, and I read an article a few days back, and you know what? Think about it too. The last time when the 49ers, when Bill Walsh really took the team and took us to the next level, we had that amazing draft where we drafted, 3 players in the secondary, right? We got Eric Davis, we got Ronnie Lott, all right? We got a few different players in that draft, and we solidified the secondary and the defense, and that's something we just haven't done in a long time, Ronbo, and I think it's about time we address that situation. I think personally the offensive line could be addressed in free agency. There's been a lot of good callers that you've had, Ronbo, that have made mention about moving guys around, maybe trying Brunskill at the tackle. And here's the other thing, you know, I don't know if we still got him. Maybe you could help me out with this, Ronbo. But you remember the Coleman kid that broke his leg? He was pretty solid at the tackle spot. He broke his friggin' leg, but he came in when Joe Staley had his broken leg issue. He came in, he did good until he broke his leg.
Sean, the guy we got from the Browns.
Yeah, it was Coleman or something like that. Guy was pretty good size, and he was doing solid at the tackle position.
Actually,
until he got
backed
broken
out
like
last
the rest of our players.
Yeah, he did the COVID option last year. I forgot about him. Yeah, you know what? He's still on the team, actually.
Exactly. See, there you go, Ronbo. Look, and that guy, he was a pretty solid tackle. So here's the thing. You know, I understand everyone loves Trent Williams. I like Trent Williams. I'm going to be very disappointed if we don't re-sign him. Obviously, we talked about that the other night, Ronbo, because we gave up the draft capital, you know what I mean, to get him.
Right.
But if we don't sign him, I really don't think it's the end of the world. I definitely think they got a contingency plan in place, because if they didn't, I think we would have struck a deal already. You know what I mean, Ronbo? I think they would have sold all out for him. They would have tried to offer him the moon, the stars, everything that you can give a guy, you know, to get it done. And the fact that they didn't, and they're willing to let him test free agency. Look, they know one of those degenerate teams out there with a lot of cap room is going to throw a lot of money at them. You know what I mean? They know that. So you know, I mean, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's my biggest fear. Who's got the money to waste? We're not going to get into a bidding war. 49ers don't do that, as you know, with DeForest Buckner. We refuse to go back and forth with the Colts. All right, you know what? That's better money, D. Good luck to you, man. We'll miss you. That's what happened. You know, so if people go 24,
I think it's going to be improved.
Huh?
I was just going to say, I think it's going to be improved one way or the other. I really do. I think honestly, as long as, look, you and I both know, right? As long as we don't have freaking Tom Compton out there trying to fly.
You know, nobody wants Compton. They re-signed him already.
Yeah, it's already improved. If Tom Compton isn't in the friggin' locker room on kickoff, then our offensive line is already improved. Everyone could rest assured of that.
I agree full-heartedly, Mike. Mike, we're going to go. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you Sunday.
All right, sounds good, Ron.
Man, you know what though? I really had to go. I didn't really mean. I wasn't really being anything disrespectful. I really had to go.
Right. Look,
I knew you'd be fine.
I didn't even know. Somebody came on the line and said something, because I'm not even watching right now. You know what I mean?
Who did that?
But look, it's all good, Ronbo.
God.
Ronbo, I got love. I got love for you, Ronbo. I got love. Shout out to all the faithful out there. I hope all of you stay safe. All right, and I'll holler at you on what's that, Sunday. I'll talk to you later. All right, Ronbo.
All right, Mike. Love you, man. I'll see you later then. All right.
All right, Ronbo. Yep.
Who told her? Did Ellis tell him? Who told somebody wrote a note? Anyway, Mr. Black Guys 22. My quarterback will be my quarterback either way. We need to fix the O-line. I still want my D to be dominant. I say fix my secondary and get my D-line together. Build up, Mr. Black Guys. I echo your sentiments exactly. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you. Ellis, did you go stool pigeon on me? We're going to talk Mike style, gangster style. We got to use the words like stool pigeon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ellis, man, I couldn't.
No, wait.
And I knew Mike was going to be fine.
No,
me.
but I just told him to let him know because he was sitting there. He was like, Ronbo.
He always does that, though.
I was like, he just went to the bathroom. Like, he'll be right back. So I just, what I mean? I just let him know.
Thanks. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Mike is
good.
Mike is hardcore entertainment, man. I tell you, that dude. Man.
Oh, Mike is good. Mike's good people, man. I like Mike.
But anyway, Ellis,
he keeps it lit. He keeps it funky, as I like to say.
Man of passion. Hey, but Ellis, okay, the fear, the scary thing about quarterbacks, the dudes that be bunched up at the top, people trade up, give up all kind. The Rams are still paying. Well, no, I think they finally paid that debt off, didn't they? For Jared Goff, but you be playing yourself, giving up a whole bucket full of assets for a quarterback in the top 3 or 4. That's been proven now to be a mistake. You could wait till Mahomes, Jackson, Josh Allen. These guys are good quarterbacks. Ain't nobody traded up for them. Well, they traded up for them, but not far. But to go all the way to number 1 is going to cost you some definite capital. But Ellis, and I know your answer, but I just got to ask anyway because it is the question tonight. Are you trading up to the top of the draft order to get you a quarterback?
Well, I have to say no there, Ronbo. And in fact, I had a hell no. In fact,
Trey, I saw Trey mention on the chat. I don't call in no more. Trey, call in, and we need to get you this question. But Ellis, go ahead. Nobody's done it yet. Nobody's said they traded up to the top to get no quarterback. But amplify on that a bit.
We didn't really have a good draft last year. I mean, we had we as far as our selection and the amount of draft picks that we had, we tried to do the best we could. We had to give up an extra, draft pick or 2 for Brandon Ayuk, and so I'm.
Oh yeah, right.
So I'm just saying. We
already got our first round pick, though, number 7. We picked up Javon. What number 7?
13.
13, yeah. Oh, that's 13? Right. We traded down. Yeah, we lost a spot.
We were 13.
Yeah, we went down a spot.
We had 13, and we stayed. And we stayed there, and we picked up Javon. We didn't move anywhere, and then we traded our next pick, which was the 31st, and we moved down and got B. And got B Ayuk.
Oh, so we didn't drop a spot in the draft last year and get Javon? Because I remember I passed out when we went down.
Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, but from what I was sitting watching the draft, we didn't move anywhere. We made a move.
We moved up to get Ayuk
with our 31st pick. We moved up to the 20-something pick to get Brandon Ayuk because he was going to get snatched. But so but no, Ronbo, no quarterback, man. Even the next draft, I mean, we could make do with a quarterback for the next 2 for this season and even next season if need be. Hence, the draft is not. Rich with really good quality quarterbacks where we can try to make a shot or take a crack at somebody. I think we very well will snatch a quarterback if one of the ones that Kyle obviously may have been looking at, or that we've been talking about, because there are guys off the radar, off our radar that are on his that he could be looking at and could snatch in one of the later rounds. But the first round's not going to happen. If anything, we're going to trade back and get some more picks. And I think it'd be a good idea to get in that second round. And earlier you guys were talking about it. I think it's a good idea to get that second round a little more because there's going to be a lot of guys that don't get picked up right away that are really great players that we can, really capitalize on, And so,
because you know
but
what?
I really like Kyle Pitts, Rombo. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I really
yeah,
like
well,
Kyle Pitts. And Tony was talking about earlier how we got to have a better offense, and I've been saying the same thing. If our defense even takes a slight decline or takes a large decline, that means that what? We're offensively going to have to be, a top 5 or top 3 defense just to be able to maintain. Because if we're at 15 or any deeper in the defensive category, then we're going to be looking at some pretty, disgusting games, and I don't want to look forward to that. So I'm just saying, if our defense is not, which I don't believe that's going to happen at all. I think our defense is going to do well. I think D'Amico's going to do well. We just don't know, so we have to comp for that. I think to still,
it's all about players.
If he's there, let's just say if he's there.
Yeah, we did trade down. We did. Jarrell Swift says Bucks took Tristan Wirfs. That's why they traded up with us. So we did drop down one spot.
Oh, we dropped down a spot.
Ellis, there's the question. We wanted a lineman too, but we want a defensive lineman, right? Would it have been better to get Wirfs, or did we do the right thing? I'm still wondering about Contavious Street. But we have not seen yet what we got in Javon, because he didn't have the preseason he should have had. Because I think they're going to develop him to a machine. But still, it's really interesting. Lineman for lineman, one went offense. As the Bucks went up and got worse. Worse may have had something to do with that Super Bowl, too. It's crazy how things work out. Destiny,
100%.
fate,
That was our pick. Yeah. We got rid of that pick. I would have personally... I guess I'll just say I would like to have seen what Tristan Wirfs would have looked like instead of us having, Javon Kinlaw. But without Javon, we would have a void there. But I feel like that would have gotten filled at some point, and one of the other guys just could have got some extra reps. But offensively, if we would have been more dominant, had some more protection, we could have had more plays, and I think that could have translated into wins potentially. You know what I mean? So. And Tristan Wirfs would have been great. We wouldn't be so scared about, having Trent Williams or needing to, try to, think about having to pay out him so crazy. We could have found a more serviceable guy to fill in his spot while we got Wirfs and everybody
Terrell
else.
says the dude allowed 1 sack in his rookie year. Listen, is he playing left tackle?
I think he's. I don't know. I think he's on the right, but
that doesn't matter. Damn. Oh,
he's balling. That was our guy. That's what I'm saying. It's like instead of Javon, that's why I said we could have had a totally different offensive, season, and that would have translated. And I mean, our defense could have just been sustaining, for the most part, doing pretty much what we did all year. But if our offense was just a little bit better, those could have translated into wins easily. So,
but
I probably would
we
have taken
needed everybody to stay
Javon.
healthy too, though. That was the thing. We had so many. If we didn't have an army of guys going down, then your one individual player like that can have impact. But man, we cannot have that kind of season twice. Ellis, we got to go. But I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm looking for you Sunday because I always look forward. I know you're going to be in there somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, fam. And check out those.
I can't wait. My days, it's like there's not enough hours in a 24-hour period.
Jalen Downey, Jalen Darden. You guys look at Jalen Darden in the chat. He's from a school out in Texas for special teams. I mean, he is just this is unbelievable feat. But they got a lot of guys that are out there, man.
What's his position?
That are in there. He plays special teams and wide receiver.
Wide
receiver? Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll check him out then.
He's got that gadget capability, and his footwork is crazy. But check him out and whenever you get a chance, family and other guys.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me know.
All right, Ellis.
Okay, fam. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to the chat. Yes, sir. Right. It's all good, family. I know you're busy, man. It's all good. We're going to make it happen. But, shout out to the chat. Y'all, much love and respect. Hit the like and subscribe. Peace and love, y'all.
Thanks, Ellis. Night, fam. And, of course, there's another Rudy tidbit. Rudy says, by the way, he's Rams reloaded, and Stafford is ready to roll. Thanks for the contribution. It says, it's okay, Ronbo. At least you stay for my calls. And don't blame you for having an upset stomach, thinking about Stafford running McVay's full playbook and number 1D. Hey, Rudy's the kind of guy, how you walk into a car lot or dealer or a furniture store or a place where they got to sell you high volume or high price stuff. Rudy's the guy to reach at the front door and really get you. The sales pitch is just unbelievable. Rudy has sold himself on the Rams, though, and Stafford being the greatest thing since sliced bread. 661 area code. Hello.
Rudy. With the 12th pick in the 2021 draft.
Yes.
The San Francisco 49ers select Jalen Waddle. Let's get it.
This voice sounds familiar. Who is this? It sounds like you, Jack. Jack, are you back stateside?
Man, I can't say where I'm at right now due to restrictions and stuff, but I ain't that far from you guys.
I love it.
I'm just sliding through. Listen, I love Kyle Pitts, man. I love Kyle Pitts, but for some reason, they're saying there's buzz around saying Cincinnati's in love with him. He's going to go by the 5th pick, which you never know. There's always this, thing that happens in the draft where a dude goes too high or something like that. But I think Ronbo is fall right into our laps. I think he's a lot better than homeboy on Raiders. Jalen Waddle, man, the wide receiver from Bama.
Oh, because everybody's talking about Devonta over there. I didn't even think about Waddle. Bama's always got an army of top quality wide receivers. I guess that's what school everybody wants to go to before they even. That's amazing. They had a house full last year.
He's better than the Oakland Raiders draft pick last year. You know what I'm saying?
Henry, wait a minute now. I like Henry Ruggs. I wanted that. Hey, can Waddle run? Is he fast?
They say that Ruggs only beat him by half a step, and one time he tied Ruggs. But this guy's a better football player. Yeah. This guy's a better football player than Ruggs.
Is he
got
bigger?
So much more in his arsenal. Is he bigger? He's there about 5'10", or he ain't the biggest guy, 5'11", something like that. But I can find out.
Yeah. Jack, you make some good picks every year, Jack. I must say, a lot of people won't admit that to you, but you picked out Jamal Adams. Yeah. Who else you've picked out?
Yeah.
You're generally speaking, you make good choices.
You know what? I'm telling you right now, put the chips on the table and stomp your arm on the damn table for this guy, Jalen Waddle. If he's in our offense, a dude like Jimmy G, I don't know if Jimmy G could get him the ball downfield, but, we got to get a dude like, what's that man, the sleeper from Wake Forest. I think we can snatch this guy in this late second round. Jamie Newman is Jack's sleeper of this year. 6'4", 240 pounds. This guy got the arm like Ben Roethlisberger, moves like Deshaun Watson. This boy is bad. He opted out of last year, so you didn't hear much about him. But I'm telling you, whoever snatches up Jamie Newman, formerly from Georgia, now Wake Forest, is going to be a hell of a steal. I hope we get him and Waddle, and then patch it up with the offensive line with the free agency, man. Who knows where we go next year if we don't get injured.
Well, the offensive line is the only thing that needs fixing because the defense is probably going to be okay with Javon. I got a feeling he comes around this year, and you got Nick back. I don't know how good Nick's going to be or how he's feeling, but, yeah, the defense should be fine. I just want to know what Mace has got in mind.
In the slot, if Richie James isn't going to shine this year, we got, and we don't get a guy like Jalen Waddle. There's talk here that Deshaun Jackson wants to come back to the Bay Area.
I forgot to mention him. He just got released in Philly. I mean, yeah.
Mike Nolan wanted this dude, but I think it was Scott McLaughlin where we had that year, whatever, the GM. He got Kentwan Bomber, if you remember, who said it was a dancing bear. We could have got this dude from the draft, but we passed on him. And he's been dancing around. He wants to come back to the Bay. He wants to come back to the sunshine. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, him and Kyle were together in Washington.
And it would. I think this is one of the missing jigsaw pieces for our offense, besides obviously the O-line fixing that up. But the boy on the right tackle, man, people have figured this guy out. And we need to upgrade over there, man. McGlinchey's really pissing me off, man. Every time I think about it, it just pisses me off, man, you know? God damn.
I don't know what Mike works on in the offseason, but at this point, getting Tanglefoot out there during the middle of a play makes no sense. Sometimes you see Mike's footwork, unless he's just slow of adjustment. That's probably what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of like Kim Kardashian, who just filed for divorce with Kanye, I think, yesterday or today or something.
I saw that on Twitter. It's trending.
He's too slow, and we need a divorce from this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's been too damn long, you know? We need a divorce from
Jack,
this guy.
how you going to use that for an analogy, man? It's hilarious.
Man. Hey, but check out my draft this year. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. Obviously, if Pitts falls to us, we got to get and, go double dragon with him and George Kittle. But Jalen Waddle, let's go. And please, make some noise for Jamie Newman so we can sign his ass. All right, man?
Kyle, that's one of those guys that nobody's talking about until you just now mentioned it, right? It could be.
This is going to be an exciting, fun draft. And I say this, it's like every year, Ronbo, it's just getting more and more funner for some reason.
Well, I'm telling you, Jack, I got to respect it. And you talk my language to Kyle Pitts, man. I do. I just figure it's a fantasy, a wet dream to a degree. Because, man, come on, man, we can get Kyle Pitts. And you already talk about Cincinnati picking him up. And why would Cincinnati be doing it? Why do teams who need offensive linemen go after players? You look at last year, the Cardinals needed an offensive lineman. And they went and got, what's his name? Simmons wasn't going to stop George Kittle. That was a waste of time. Get an offensive lineman. Oh, okay. Jack, we're going to talk a lot between now and the draft. Hopefully. Let me talk to you later, okay?
I know, but listen, before I go, man, shout out to Trez. I forgot to mention it all year. He was right about Antoine Winfield Jr. You know, me and you, we played safety, Ronbo, so we love, like, when I picked Jamal Adams and everything like that. But, he was my safe position last year. So shout out to my boy Trez and everybody else. And if we get Kyle Pitts, man, I'm going to go berserk like the American Space Agency did that just landed in Mars. I'm going to get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go crazy.
Jack just got off the Perseverance. I should have known. Jack, I'll see you Sunday. Night, fam.
Love y'all.
Night, fam. Oh, God. The Kanye analogy just... What? Hey, here he is. Let me bring him in. Jack. The Rod is back. Uh-oh. Last time in our previously in Bama, we caught Rod. Hey, Hayden. What guy's old 12-year-old Hayden is never going to fall asleep on you. Hayden probably doesn't sleep until 2 or 3 in the morning because he can't calm down. He's up writing material for TNT.
Well, I don't need to waste on my time on the TNT garbage. You already know my opinion about TNT. You already heard my opinion about TNT. Trey, why don't you call in? I think he might be scared. I mean, he talks a lot in the chat, but I just don't see him call in. I don't know.
Now be nice. Trey and I are very close. Be nice to Trey. But listen, hey, Hayden.
No, I'm not going to be nice to Trey. No, thank you.
Listen, I want you to I'm definitely wanting to pick your brain on this. Now, you're in the draft. There you are, Hayden. Tonight, John Lynch has just trusted you to make a choice. The first round pick. Are you trading up or are you trading down? I mean, trading up to get your quarterback, or are you going to get down some more picks?
I say trade down. I want the more picks.
And And Hayden, we're saying not trade up for the quarterback. Hayden, what are you going to do with those? How far down in the first round are you willing to go?
I don't want to go too far down because I just want to see like who they want to get, because maybe they're eyeing someone that they don't think they'll get picked up earlier.
Yeah, I keep worrying about though, if you go down to like somewhere between 15 to 17, I don't want to go to 20. You can actually get the best player available at that point, because now that pick is not to be taken too seriously like your top 5 or even your top 10 pick, right? Would it be interesting if somehow Kyle Pitts dropped to number 17? Woo! We're going to get a lineman, though, Hayden. We always get a lineman in the first round.
They really need to work on, though, like not trying to, like, how to, like, trade or, like, draft a guy that's, like, always injured in the draft. Just please don't do it the one time.
It's hard to find those guys.
Devon Kinlaw didn't even do the freaking combine. I mean, like.
He just had a cleanup procedure on his knee, too, a few weeks ago. Ayuk came out. Well, he pulled a hamstring. No big deal there. But it's hard to find a guy that you can be rest assured that he's not going to get hurt. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and what is Rudy, like, talking about? Man, he does not have a brain. I think like, Rudy just, like.
He's a Rams fan.
Does not think, because he's like, oh, yeah, reload. Well, what reload? What is Matthew Stafford going to do? Don't you guys? Oh, but this is his excuse. Oh, we have a good offensive line. Oh, yeah, you almost broke a guy's neck. I think that's a pretty good offensive line.
Hey, how is that guy, I wonder? Not heard anything about him. Oh, God. No, Rudy's got some.
You made Jared Goff look terrible.
Yeah.
He isn't good, Yeah. But he made Jared Goff look terrible. Basically just dislocated his thumb, and it was his throwing side.
Rudy's proud of that, though.
And he almost broke the guy's neck. I don't see how that's a good offensive line. And Stafford is injury prone. So if you're going to mess up his shoulder, he's going to look like Big Ben out there struggling the whole season.
Oh, God, I can't wait to play the Rams so badly. But we got to have a healthy team, though. I don't want to go in there happy. But you know what? Hey, the funny thing about playing the Rams, we don't really need a healthy team. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nick Mullins. I mean,
Nick was the only guy missing.
Why can't Josh Rosen?
Who was our running back in that game? Mostert wasn't there. Was it Wilson Jr.?
Mostert was there until he gets injured. See, Mostert needs to work on Kittle, Mostert, and Debo need to.
Yeah, no, really.
They get injured a lot.
This is a problem, Hayden. I still want to move out of Santa Clara. You know what? At Candlestick, we didn't have this many issues. People got hurt, but not like to this degree. This is ridiculous. There's something really wrong with that space we're in now. Mojo is something wrong.
Yeah, something. And I just got to give a shout out to Niner Mike. Man, he is hilarious.
That's why.
He has to be dying laughing here sometimes. And people have to listen to, like, man, you may not like Jimmy, but when you got the whole team, Sherman, you can't control your players. You can't. Like, did you hear what Jerick McKinnon had to say about us?
That good. Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't control your players.
Yeah. Well.
And you have Richard Sherman. He's on his way out, even though he is talking some stuff. But so. And Bourne might be out. He's like playing his freaking video game, talking about how good Jimmy Garoppolo is, tweeting about it. That stuff matters. That stuff matters. It's not just like and especially like Richard Sherman, he might not be playing, like, he might just be a safety for his rest of his 2-year career, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. He's not just like a pushover.
He's a very sharp guy. Hey, we're gonna go. I'll see you Sunday, okay?
See you Sunday.
All right, looking forward to it.
See you Sunday.
Goodbye.
TNT and Rudy, I will see you in the chat.
That sounds like a threat. That ain't. And just in time, this just in says, not letting me join. We probably close shop because we're gonna have to go. Justin, we'll see you Sunday, I guess. So where are we? But just think about it. We'll go back and see if we can wake Rod up. And now we go down to the area where they call it the Crimson Tide. Rod! The silence is frightening, isn't it? Oh, Rodney, Rod, say good night and goodbye. Rod, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go get something to eat. Every time I do this, I get incredibly hungry. I don't care what time it is we finish. I could eat a house. So, guys, so Sunday, let's get back together and talk football, 49ers, and make some predictions, start line, and do all the things we love to do. They're like, fam, I can't wait to see you Sunday. Notice how I handle it a little better today. What you got to do is don't go straight up. A little bit on ice, you know what I mean? Let it melt and dilute it. And stick with your single malt liquors. Bam. Good night.